Do you like basketball? Basketball, no. I like, but I'm not good at. Yes, I'm not.
Me too.
Opa! Welcome back to the State of the League podcast, the only NBA podcast hosted by Paolo Banchero. Even though this isn't an East episode, so there will be very minimal talk of Paolo, I suppose. I'm your host, Jack, a.k.a. joestar. With me, as always, the world-famous Pablo Escobar. Pablo, how the heck are you today, bud?
By the way, we have not addressed.
I'm not
Paolo,
dressing anything.
Hey, we have not addressed Paolo Banchero, the time traveling sexual predator, time freezing sexual predator. You seen that video?
Yeah.
What else could he have meant?
He said, if anyone's curious, they did like one of those fun player things where it's like, what kind of sandwich would you make? Just asking them stupid questions, and then they somehow got to the topic of Paolo Banchero getting the ability to freeze time, like they were doing a superpowers thing. And he said, he was like, can't give someone like me the power to freeze time. Yeah.
It get real scary. His voice, he like sounded scared, and everyone was like, "Bro is actually scared. Bro's a villain."
That's so fucking funny, dude. And what's hilarious?
I don't think he's like going after oligarchs when he's freezing time.
No. Well, what's hilarious is he probably is like, dude, I'd have so much time to work on my left hand. Like, you have no idea. And like, I don't know, because to you and me, obviously, to people who like have gone on power scaling Reddits and stuff, and it's like the people who, anyone who wants to freeze time in like a layman's sense, like your friend who wants the ability to freeze time or the ability to be invisible or whatever, or erase people's memories, sexual deviance. That's all we're looking at there. But I would like to extend a little more wiggle room to Paolo, I guess.
Hopefully he's a late sleeper and he's just like excited.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna be late everywhere.
Oh man, that rocks. Yeah, I don't know. Beyond that, the trade deadline is right around the corner. I believe it's 6 days from today. I have to burp. Oh god. Ugh. And so
Apologize.
who am I sorry to?
The audience.
I'm not sorry to these fucking losers. Come on. They probably do you have any idea the kind of demented things our listeners probably get up to? There's probably somebody like beating the shit out of another person in their basement while listening to this podcast.
Oh, I wonder, are we? No, so we're at like 1,500 to 2,000 an episode. Well, I guess we have more considering audio. I wonder if we've had someone listen who's killed someone.
I don't know. That's a really good question. Guys, comment down below. If you have, try to put it in terms that YouTube won't be angry at our comments about. Say unalived. There we go. I unalived a family of 3 in a drunk driving accident. Something like that. Yeah. As far as
if we were more pro-Israel, we'd have 10.
well, you'll have an opportunity to if we go down the standings.
We'd have 10 19-year-old ultra sergeant commanders of the IDF army.
Holy shit, you guys must be pretty accomplished. Yeah, I unjammed the printer, so they gave me 8 promotions.
This army is really dangerous. Everyone has 10 badges.
Well, yeah, that's just how skilled everyone is over there. It's kind of like you're born naturally skilled, or you come from.
Well,
Brooklyn.
you're born naturally superior to the guys.
Yeah.
Right next to
born
you.
naturally
and
in New York.
Born and in Canada, in Alberta, but that was a test from God. Yeah. So he wanted you to go there.
Well, it's because they were born in Alberta, moved to Florida. They're like, this climate's pretty sick. What if I could do whatever I wanted all the time? Holy shit, I can if I just go there.
Oh, if Paolo Banchero ever did his crime and he was Jewish, he could go to Israel. They don't prosecute the sexual offenders.
Holy shit!
It's a sexual offender haven. So, but they're not the bad guys. That's just.
Well, there's both sides.
It's quirky. They had the pro rape riots. They were quirky.
That was so crazy. That they were like, I mean, breaking down the walls of a prison in protest of their soldiers. No, they should be allowed to do that. They should be allowed to do that. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. The world's a crazy place, and it doesn't seem like it's getting any saner. DEI crash.
And it's our fault. Our fault. The liberals are back on top on TikTok.
Okay.
I'm seeing a ton of...
Because you voted for Jill Stein?
Well, I didn't vote for anybody.
Yeah, I know. It's because you're a lazy scumbag leeching off the system.
To be clear, guys, I didn't vote for president. I voted for the other stuff. But I didn't mark anyone down. But it's my fault. Because I'm a single issue voter.
Well, yeah, and so I don't know. It's your fault that everything's going bad now. It's your fault that all the money's gone from all the important places. All the money's gone from everywhere, really. We're not spending any more money. Trump's tightening the belt. That's on you. The plane crash DEI, that's on you. What else is there? Elon's probably...
I was listening to, Majority Report?
I've heard of it, but I've never listened to it.
Sam Cedar, he streams on Twitch early.
Oh, okay. The guy who scared Steven Crowder that one time.
Sam Cedar, what a nightmare.
What a nightmare. That's us if, like Bobby Portis or anyone just pops up into the screen. Oh, fuck, Bobby. No, what a nightmare.
That's if Pablo pops up.
Hey. I'll just look him dead in his eyes. You think you're better than Scotty Barnes? Whatever, man. That's fine. That's fine.
Well, he's up right now.
Oh, my God.
He's up right now.
Well, I mean, if we want to talk post, whatever, there's so many people that, like, a core injury takes a long time to get back from. He's not going to be 100% right away.
Wait, for who? For Paolo or
for Paolo? No, Scotty. It's because Paolo hurt his oblique or whatever, and so if he ever
what was Scotty's injury?
He's always getting some shit. He got poked in the eye. Oh no, he got elbowed in the face. Actually, it was like by Jokic, dirty white man. He like had
the guy who ended the Morris. Which one was it? Was
both
it Marcus
of them
or Markieff?
Well, they switch out. So, if we want to talk about like weird NBA sexual innuendos, the Paolo thing is nothing compared to the Morris brothers on podcast one time being like, yeah, we've done all sorts of shit and never got caught. We've changed places in all sorts of contexts and never been caught.
So do they have all the same tattoos?
Probably not, but I mean, it's not like they were, there was times before they were tattooed or in a dark room or something. I have no idea.
Yeah. So, but Jokic is a dirty player. He ended that career. You're telling me he hit Scotty in the face.
Mm-hmm. Sam Cedar. What are we talking about here? I don't give a shit about Scotty's face injury. Go back to the Majority Report.
Well, they were talking about how Elon and the Doge people, they were like trying to get into this government office that processes all the paychecks to the workers.
Yeah.
They're like, we want to get in here, measure the efficiency. They were like, basically the vibe was like, let get in here and leave the room for a minute. So we want to do something.
The room with all the important files. I think we just need to be alone in there for a little bit.
The way they were talking, I think they weren't able to get unrestricted access or whatever. Yeah. And the guy who has worked there since like the 80s. So it's like he was fighting real hard to be like, no. But they were like, yeah, it's just crazy how they could just be alone in there and be like, they could add a notch that's like, oh, add 30 cents to every one of our paychecks or something. It's insane. And we just wouldn't be able to do anything. So, and they were talking about the grow at like.
Well, that's at efficient. This point, and I mean, you're kind of describing like efficiency is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, they were basically just talking about how it's shaping up to look like Elon is the bigger threat than Trump. I think we thought both of them were just brain dead idiots who and Elon was like, I just want to get some money. Let me get some of this government contract money. But he might have like a full on ideological framework going to Germany talking about race mixing and stuff like that.
It's not just like doing that. It's doing that on a big ass screen in Germany. Doing it on a 40-foot IMAX Zoom call, like you're the Apple commercial from the 80s, where it's like consume, 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 and then the guy jumps in with like the shot put and breaks the screen or whatever. That was Elon at that call. To be like, I don't know, to be like, you have a proud history that goes back thousands of years. Germany's like 40 minutes old. It like conceptually, they were like a band of warring tribes 5 episodes of Family Guy ago. It has not been that long.
Yeah. We're in trouble, everybody.
The world's not getting. The world may be getting better. You know, depends who you ask. Depends what standard you use, I suppose. It doesn't always feel like it's getting better. I'll tell you that much.
Guys who think awards should be determined by wins and losses over stats, they're up right now.
Oh, they're massively up. Although I am middle of the road with that, where
it's case by case for me.
Yeah, I mean, like Şengün over Sabonis.
Yeah.
But
that's
like,
based.
Like,
the true shooters.
So wait.
Every metric.
That is based
I
to
test.
you. That is based to you.
test.
Which one do you not like? Then do you not like? Are you mad about like Hero over Trae Young?
Well, I was upset about Pablo over Scotty last year.
Yeah, I swear I had one written down where I backed you. I had like a note where I was like, oh, okay, it's in the Kings episode. It's not about Sabonis, but I have a conundrum for you.
Okay, I'll probably pony you. So
I mean, I feel like I kind of came out on top, even though the mainstream media really did some hardcore editing to make it. You know, they clearly had a slant in that podcast as far as the debate stage goes.
Oh, are you talking about the turnovers don't matter?
No, I'm talking about when the bio or the description of the Wednesday episode where you were like, yeah, Pablo kind of won the debate and held his ground in an intellectually firm way. It killed me. I laughed so hard at that. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do Thunder?
I don't want to, but we have to.
Ka-chow.
We have so many Thunder fans in the Patreon. We do. Someone suggested a couple weeks ago that we do a census. Do you think we have enough people to do a census yet?
I was waiting for it to hit like a round number.
Should we wait for 400?
What are we at? I'm pulling it up right now. So
we're at 360, I believe. Shout out to Sam Irwin, our newest patron.
Shout out to Sam. Shout out to Sam. Okay. Well, do you want to wait or do you want to go? Do you want to do a census or will we remember at 400 is the real question here.
I'm literally a centrist. I literally can see it from both sides.
Yeah.
And I remain cool, calm, and collected.
Okay.
And I don't demand any action.
Yeah, well no, that's good. I saw the funniest guy going to war for centrists in the comments of some stupid post where it's just he was like, centrists actually take the best ideas from both sides. They eliminate all of the extremism from either side. And then, like, I don't know. And so someone pressed him. They were like, so what is your opinion on this issue? And he was like, I see both, you know. It's like kind of part of it's good, part of it's bad.
See, I don't like helicopter crashes into planes, but I also don't like spending so much money on air traffic controllers and DEI ones too.
Yeah. I don't like, $10 cartons of eggs, but I also don't like when the stock market loses $1 trillion. So I'm just kind of confused as to which one is, the lesser of two evils. That's the centrist job, really, is to find the lesser of two evils.
Hey, what's for dinner? You want poop? I want pizza. Centrist? Let's get poop on pizza.
Hey, come on. You don't want spider bug pizza?
What is spider bogue? What is
Spider bug. As in like I mean Jesus Christ. Spider bug pizza. This fucking guy, the Thunder. Let me timestamp this shit.
Guys, am I
You're
the
at
villain
fault.
or did he
You're
misspeak?
at fault. You're
Comment
at fault.
down below.
You're at fault. I'm calling my insurance agency.
Oh crap! What insurance?
Speech insurance. So every time I fuck up, I call the insurance company, and they're like, "Well, the other guy's at fault. He owes you damages."
Oh, Elon should get that.
Elon's never made a mistake. His heart goes out to everyone. I mean, what else could you think? Did you see that priest that did that? They were
Yeah.
Shout out to that guy. Shout out to that guy for thinking he has the same level of immunity as Elon Musk.
he did get fired, right?
Yeah, they
or
were like,
something?
"You're not a
Yeah.
priest anymore, bro." Oh, that's so funny. And shout out to that guy because he also hit the Jim Halpert right after he did it, which that fucking killed me. He did the salute and then he looked off to the side to clearly at someone he had been like discussing it with beforehand, and he went. And so,
nice.
yeah, that fucking killed me. All right, the Thunder are playing basketball in Oklahoma City. And they're also 2-2 in their last 4. They've beaten the Blazers and the Jazz, and then they lost to the MAVS and the Warriors. Not a ton to discuss with them. They've only played 2 games since we last talked. They beat the Blazers, and then the Warriors loss is the big one. Do you have any?
Yeah, they were proven to be frauds.
Okay. Why do you feel that way?
Because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, what did he drop? 52 on him?
I don't know. I'm an eye test guy.
They lost, so
Yeah.
they were frauds. Yeah, I think the Warriors loss is just fluky because there was no Draymond.
Mm-hmm.
Steph didn't even play that well. And like
Kevon Looney, hammer.
Oh God, yeah. And I do say, well, I will say, I'm not panicking about this loss. This loss doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's fake. It's fraudulent.
Yes. Yeah.
But I am coming around to think change. I'm worried that like the preseason assessment of this team was a little off in terms of their offensive capability.
You mean like the last time we saw Jalen Williams, he was really good at offense, and now he's not good at offense anymore?
And all of them, honestly, like Kaysen and Caruso, coming into this season, it was like, this is literally Celtics West. But now it's feeling more like I can envision a playoff series happening where Shai averages 50 and they lose because no one else can hit a shot.
Yeah. 50 might be a bit much, and I especially feel like that will be different once Chet is back, even if a lot of the other performances remain the same. I will say, though, I do remember very clearly when the Caruso trade went down, I had this feeling that I was like, even if the three-point shooting was fake in Chicago, they're just so well insulated that it really wouldn't matter. And it's turned out that shooting, whether or not it was fake, is one thing, but it hasn't been there so far this year.
You weren't there. It was real.
That's real. That's how he got Josh Giddey for him, is because of that hot shooting. If it wasn't for that, he'd be stuck with what? Kaysen Wallace or some loser like Trey Mann. Just disgusting. No one needs anything like that.
If he doesn't make a trade, it might ruin my life. I might do unspeakable things online that are just gonna destroy me.
Nice. Pablo's gonna be the first incel on Blue Sky, everybody. So get ready for that. He's gonna be the first one. He's gonna be on there. He's not gonna be like anti-women. He's gonna be like, Arturis, count your fucking days. Oh my God.
I might be calling ICE on the Chicago Bulls front offices. Did you see they're going after Native Americans?
Wait.
They went to the reservations. They're like, are some of you some of you look Mexican.
That's so fucking terrible. Hey, shout out to ICE.
I only found out because of a video of a girl on TikTok telling her Trump supporting mom, and her mom was like, "This is not good." It was so funny.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not that surprising how many videos you see of people being like, "Wait, this was a platform of his? I thought he was going to fix the economy. Now Mexican people aren't allowed in the country."
They unironically think he was just getting rid of bad people. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't matter what he said. He's getting rid of bad people.
My tia or whatever, I thought she'd be cool, and instead
she's good. She's a good person.
Yeah, she never committed a crime, and so I thought she'd be allowed to stay. Because, like, obviously there are, violent rapists flooding out of asylums over the border, and that needs to be stopped. But I thought my tia would be cool, and instead it's everybody, and that's pretty surprising. And now, on the other side, all of, like, the blue wave people being like, you get what you vote for. Insane. That's an insane, like, position to hold, to just be, like, super happy that Tia is going back to Mexico or whatever. But it is, I mean, yeah, like, just the fact that so many people clearly, I don't want to say misunderstood, but just, like, were scammed. It's insane to me that, like, this is a point that was not very clear heading into the ballot, that, like, they were not cool with Mexican people.
And Kamala, if she was in office, she wouldn't be sending the ICE agents on raids into schools and churches and stuff. She would still be mass deporting people who were not doing anything.
Yes.
So I don't know what kind of W they think it is. But yeah, it's just the reality is, I think we've if there's anything to be learned from the last 10 years, it's nothing of substance matters. Everyone is a sheep. You just got to lead them. You just got to say whatever has to be said. They're like, nothing of substance matters.
Which is super frustrating because you and I are stupid. I don't speaking about it in these terms. It's so annoying to hear someone be like, people are sheep. Like, I'm more aware of whatever. But, like, just paying, like, 40% attention to stuff. Like, you just are aware of so much more. And so
there's just polling where it's like, how do you feel about illegal immigrants? I hate them. 100% disapproval rate. I hate them. How do you feel about asylum-seeking migrants? 100% approval. I love these guys. These guys are awesome. It's all just synonyms. It's crazy. And yeah, we are bozos, but relative to the average American, I'm kind of Matt Damon in every movie he's in.
Oh fuck! Pick a Matt Damon that you want to be.
I'll be. Let's see. Where's he at his cockiest?
Best. I want to be Limitless Bradley Cooper. That seems like a Matt Damon role. Like, it seems like Matt Damon wrote Limitless, and he gets to be the Limitless guy. But it's Bradley Cooper.
He wouldn't need the pill.
He would invent the pill, is the thing.
Maybe, and then he'd pwn Bradley Cooper for taking the pill. He'd be like, "You think just because you took a pill, you're smarter than me? How about let's talk about quandaries."
Plot twist of Limitless, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's placebo effect. He takes Viagra the whole movie. And so
I'm Matt Damon.
Around. Sorry, you go.
No, you to finish your nasty diatribe.
He's walking around for an hour and a half pretending to be really smart with a huge boner. That's all that popped into my head right there. So, which Matt Damon do you want to be?
This is me soft. This is me soft, everyone.
Oh man.
I'm Matt Damon when he's pwning the person when he's standing with his mom. He's like, You think I act because of the incentive?
Oh, he's doing the teacher thing. Yeah, you could be a shitty cameraman. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's the problem with ed policy today.
It kind of nuked him, low key. I mean, I don't know.
He pwned him.
Yeah, and that's real. So that's how you know that when Matt Damon acts like that on camera, maybe that's just Matt Damon.
Yeah, I'm just imploring you, Matt Damon, please give yourself a role that's unlike your real life, where you're pwning everyone nonstop and you're the smartest guy in the room. Let's get some humility in a role.
Matt Damon, Rain Man remake.
That said, I did see a clip of The Martian, and I was like, God, that looks sick.
Have you never seen The Martian?
No.
Bro, it's so good. Like,
You know what I want to watch?
What?
By the way, we should probably reset this timestamp for OKC.
we already talked about. I mean, listen, I'm about to bring. Okay, say what you want to watch, and then I'll bring up OKC again.
Okay, yeah. I've realized a trope I love. And I
Okay.
don't know if this is a trope. Maybe that's the wrong term. I love found footage. I love found footage movies.
A trope. It's a genre, pretty much at this point.
Genre.
Yeah. And I think found footage is good when it's done well. I just think there's such like a, I don't know. As someone who kind of lived through the Blair Witch moment, but like I wasn't going to see movies while it happened. I just remember like
Wait, when was that? I thought that was like mid-90s, no?
Blair Witch came out, I think like 99, and it was
We were 05.
well, I'm saying from like 05 to 10, it like so Blair Witch drops.
Like Cloverfield?
I love Cloverfield. That's a good movie. That's not even what
that's
I'm saying.
good.
There's
The hype was big for that when I was a kid.
because that was like the first fuck. Now I'm not even gonna bring up. Okay, see, that was like the first. You remember? It's like I think it's called ARG or something, where it's like alternate reality. So like the marketing for Cloverfield was like, yo, I just got this new website that I found, and it's like companies from the movie, and so like it was like news articles and things, pretty like very guerrilla advertising pilled shit for Cloverfield, which I think is honestly cooler than the movie itself. The movie's fun, but like I don't know. When I rewatch it, it's not as good as I remember, as opposed to another found footage movie, Chronicle, that when I rewatch that, I'm like, that's a fucking banger every time.
Love Chronicle.
Yeah. Okay, so what I was going to say next about OKC, Jalen Williams, All-Star Reserve. He's officially an All-Star. How do you feel about it? I'm going to ask you about all the All-Star Reserves. So starting off with Jalen Williams.
So yeah, this will be a problem because I didn't care that much. So I didn't like go through the list of the people who didn't make it and like do a ton of like thinking.
You know, I'm going to be honest. I don't think this podcast is successful because we do a ton of legwork beforehand. I'm going to go out on a limb there.
It's successful because people they tune in to see how bad my lighting will be.
Also, successful,
Jalen
pretty
Williams.
loose there. Now that I'm like, successful, people are here, I guess. Hi, everybody. We're trying to make a little scratch.
We had Kenny Beecham. We're never going to hell.
Nice. Hell yeah.
So Jalen Williams, is he the best defensive player on the Thunder? Is that fair or no?
No, but I see the argument for best two-way player. I feel like Caruso is a better defender, and I do feel like Lou Dort is right there with him defensively. Like both, like any given night, maybe if they need J-Dub to guard like a bigger guy or whatever, that maybe is just a bit too much for Caruso or Dort to handle.
That's where I think. So he's not as good on ball, but the versatility, like he has kept them alive by functioning as a center a lot in ways that they can't. But I'm also open to them still being better than him.
And like two-way player, I'm gonna say Shea, because he's like just so like the aggregate of his two ways is so much higher than J-Dub's. But if you wanted to be like a real asshole and be like, well, if we weigh offense and defense the same amount, then maybe J-Dub does more defensively or whatever. But yeah, regardless of like qualifiers like that, I'm fine with the nod. They're so good, on pace to win 1 million games, have been so injured, and he's really been, besides Shea, their most consistent guy in the lineup. If you think back to all of the games they've played, I mean, it's probably like 6 or 7 on the year, but without Hartenstein or Chet, and J-Dub does so much big man shit for them. Yeah, I'm cool with the nod. Beyond that, I don't have a ton of Thunder stuff. I agree that the Warriors win. I mean, it's a good win for the Warriors, but if you're OKC, it's just going to happen sometimes over the course of a season. It was real magnet ball hoops for Golden State down the stretch.
So, Hall of Fame NBA player Paul Pierce?
I've heard of him.
So he's a Hall of Fame former player, so he knows
more than you and I do.
Yeah. He says they should trade Chet Holmgren for Kevin Durant. How do you feel about that?
Fuck. Can they get Bol? That'd be my question.
Maybe. I don't know.
'Cause,
He didn't bring that up.
Like, if you could bring... So, Chet for KD and Bol, 2 long guys, and a young long guy for 1 long guy. I mean, kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, so it's funny because he said the 36-year-old forward is still playing at MVP level, and Pierce's reasoning was that Holmgren has hardly played this year, and OKC's still been good, so they don't even need him. And Jeff Teague, another former NBA guy, he disagreed. He came out and said Paul Pierce is drunk, and so I was like, okay, Jeff Teague cooking, but. Then he came out and said something wrong too. He said, at this moment, with how they're playing right now without Chet, to trade Chet for KD is crazy. Shea which that's not the wrong part.
Yeah.
Shea is a better player. Shea is a better player than KD right now at this moment. Not legacy, but this moment in 2025. Shea is a better player than Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant is cold, but Kevin Durant is 36. Shea right now is an MVP caliber player. So why would that be the reason for why you couldn't trade for Kevin Durant?
It's just like, Chet's young, KD's old. We don't need to trade for this guy. Plus, you're bringing in 2 alphas into 1 locker room. What the heck? That's not going to work.
That's very much the perspective. Like, it's going to be, you can only have one guy who's the guy.
Yes, yeah,
and
exactly.
It's not as if Kevin Durant spent years dominating the NBA playing next to Steph Curry. And
it's not like everywhere he's gone for 10 years, he's had like an all-star, all-NBA level guy next to him.
Oh my God, it's crazy. He's had like every single member of the All NBA teams from the 2010s on his team, like DeAndre Jordan, Kyrie, Harden. Gonna have Jimmy. Played with past his prime Blake.
CP3
he's
for
had,
like 40 games, or not even like 20 games at the end there, but still. Westbrook.
Beal's probably made one of those teams at some point. Did he? I don't know.
Maybe.
He's just. The idea of Kevin Durant not fitting in somewhere is nuts, and especially like he would fit in incredibly playing off of Shea. It would just be completely seamless. So it's crazy how they both get it wrong somehow. I
will credit Teague with being more right.
Nerdy white boy Pones NBA stars.
Whoa, nerd goes to the hood and Pones NBA stars. All right. Okay. Nerd goes to the hood. He's pulling people's pants up. Nice. That's good. All right. I'm cool on the Thunder. 32 minutes in, I'd say there's about 10 minutes of Thunder talk in there.
When's Chet coming back?
Never. He's a concept.
Crap.
Fuck.
Okay.
He's dark matter at this point. My oxtail king.
Didn't they say that was fake?
What? That's crazy. I didn't. Most of the universe is dark matter. That's the vibes right now.
I think they figured out they were wrong about that.
Okay. Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson, fuck that guy. I'm done with him.
You seen the pics of him when he was young?
No. Does he have aura or motion?
He was jacked.
Yo. Before he became a nerd, dude. Fuck. All right. The Houston Rockets, they are, 3-1 over their last 4. They beat the Cavs, the Celtics, the Hawks, and they lost to the Grizzlies. They lost to the Grizzlies, my fault. The Amen Thompson experience. It's kind of fucking dope and cool and shit. How you feel?
He's fascinating. He's popping off. He brutalized.
He's
the
fascinating. Shut up. God damn, dude. He's fascinating. You're Neil deGrasse Tysoning everywhere. Come on. Use a cool word.
Oh, he rocks. He's rock and roll. He's punk.
Whoa.
That's what you want?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. That'd be cool. It was a bit much. But Amen Thompson's super punk rock, dude.
I saw Player's Choice. They were talking about Ben Simmons comparisons, and a lot of the people in the comments, people don't realize. Mm-hmm. I always have to remind, like it's weird. Because Amen Thompson has been in my life for a couple of years now.
Since, have you been following him since OTE and everything?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, there was hype for him before he joined OTE. There were a bunch of draft freak nerds saying is this saying this is the most athletic person I've seen in my entire life. And at the time, I was like, yeah, you guys told me Cole Anthony was Derrick Rose level athlete, whatever. Turns out they were right.
Nice.
But yeah, and then he was in OT. And so there's people who don't realize Amen Thompson is a good passer. Like, he was a point guard. He was an on-ball point guard in OTE. And so when you bring up the comparisons to Ben Simmons, people are like, he can't pass like that. And he's not a Ben Simmons level passer, but still.
Yeah. I had the opposite experience. That's interesting, because I made the Ben Simmons comp just off the top of my head on Twitter, because like he beat the Cavs the second time, and people were like, he's literally got Giannis trajectory. Anything's possible. And I was like, okay, that's a bit much for me at this point. But I said locked in Ben Simmons is on the table. And a lot of people got really upset at that because they don't play that similarly, which I think that's a fair criticism. They really don't. Like, it's a much different style of play. But he is a solid, like, very capable passer.
Yeah, he's like, on a different team, he would probably be just like a John Wall, early John Wall type point guard guy. But this team has Şengün.
Some big dumb fuck just planted in the paint. Jeez.
Which this style of play might be better for him than being on the ball all the time. It remains to be seen what the ceiling of this is, because so when we go jumperless guys, we had Ben Simmons, but he was huge, but he did not play huge.
Yes.
Amen Thompson is smaller, but he plays far bigger than Ben Simmons ever did. But Ben Simmons was 6'10" and was like full head of steam, should be like
literally like baby LeBron, physically.
Yeah.
Athletically, but like strength-wise and build-wise, just massive dude.
Yeah, incredible. And he was a really advanced ball handler. Like, he could go full speed without messing anything up. He had cool dribble moves and stuff, and he had like flashy passes, manipulating passes and stuff. The reason why Ben Simmons didn't work out is because his assertiveness fell off a cliff, and then he couldn't hit free throws anymore, and he was scared to try and finish at the basket. So, Amen Thompson, I don't think will ever be scared like that.
Yeah.
But. So comparing him to Ben Simmons, that's one thing. You could be like, Amen's relentlessness will prevent that from ever happening.
And also, I feel like he straddles the line, especially when we're talking about like the last year of Ben Simmons being good. Amen straddles the line of scoring aggression so much more, where he can pass. But especially in this recent stretch, it seems like everything that he's doing on the court is kind of like, I need to get to the free throw line, I need to get layups, I need to pressure the rim, that's how I'm going to help this team be good. It's like the passing helps, and especially when defenses really start to be like, oh, fuck, the greatest athlete on the planet is flying at the rim, I should do something. He's, really capable kick-out guy, really capable dump-off passer. I like the dumps a lot. But yeah, like,
there's a lot of me in Ben Simmons. I could see it in his game, and I'd be like, I know that. Where the purpose of you driving is like, please react to me. Please react to me.
Because I don't want to. I need to pass it.
Yeah.
Where if they just are like, okay, shoot it, you're like, oh
no,
he called my.
I'm melting.
Yeah, just anime internal dialogue. I can't believe he didn't go for that.
The square's right there. Can I hit it wide open?
Yeah. And so with the men, there's so many differences from Ben in terms of Amen, sketchy ball handler right now. And so like there's two sides to this coin where there's a long way to go. In terms of him being like really reliable at a lot of the shit you need to be able to do as an offensive engine. You have to be able to do when like defenses spend the whole offseason with you as the big guy on their scouting report. In terms of like dribbling and not even jump shooting and all that, just like much steadier stuff. But the other side of that coin is over the last 16 games. So really since Jabari Smith Jr. got hurt, and the minutes jumped up a little bit to about like 38 a game, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 stocks, 62% true shooting. They've got some really impressive wins during this span against some really like good teams. Obviously, he hit the game winner over the Celtics, 33 points and 9 rebounds there. They beat the Cavs back-to-back. In one of those games, he dropped 23, 14, and 10. And then in the other one, he was 16, 16, 4, and 4. And then they also beat the Grizzlies a couple weeks ago where he was 19, 13, and 7 stocks. So on top of all of this, like, oh, well, he needs to figure out the offense stuff and everything, he is like the most disruptive non-Wemby defender in basketball, or one of them. Especially, it's cool that he could take, Tatum or whoever largely out of a game with on-ball defense. Like, he's incredible at on-ball defense. But if you roll a lineup out there that allows him to, like, oh, you're going to try to guard me with Nehemias Queta or whoever, and I just get to roam off the ball and block shots and like hawk the passing lanes and everything, it's impossible to play against him. And so, yeah, it's not even flashes anymore. Like, the flashlight's fully turned on, I guess, but there is a way to go before, I don't know, I'm ready to buy, like, he's 100% the guy moving forward.
I think defensively right now, he's already above where Ben Simmons ever was. Ben Simmons was always a really good on-ball defender.
Yeah.
But he was never, like, people assumed because he was 6'10", he was never a guy you could, like, stick at the rim. And he wasn't a guy who could play center on defense.
Which is insane.
And Amen obviously...
It's insane that he couldn't do that.
Yeah. Amen obviously has... You can't really full-time do that with him because he's 6'7" and skinny. But he's far more impactful at it, and especially like in help situations than Ben ever was. Part of the beauty of Amen Thompson's game is when Ben Simmons was not on the ball, like, it was really a struggle to figure out what do we do with this guy. Mm-hmm. They eventually, I think maybe where he had his most success is the dunker spot. I remember there was a lot of like discourse about should he be in the dunker spot? Does it make it too easy to help off Joel Embiid? And I remember KOC writing articles where it's like, no, the offense functions better when he's in the dunker spot, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And so it's this whole thing. Amen can go in the dunker spot, and he's like, he gets off the ground in 0.02 seconds. He's like one of the best dunker spot dunkers that you could be. Mm-hmm. But he also just fills it up in a bunch of random ways. Cuts, putbacks, he can just completely fly run within the flow of the game and be super Bruce Brown and score that way. And he creates his own scoring opportunities by getting so many steals and stuff like that, and just running the floor hard in transition. And so yeah, he's a guy who really, like, right now, like, he's kind of far from being like core offensive engine, but the fact that he's able to have these kinds of games being that type of Bruce Brown type guy is pretty nuts.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, because the off-ball stuff, it's not even that he's like better than Ben Simmons ever was. Nukes Ben Simmons. Like, it's just so, like, when you watch a lot of these games, like if you watch the first quarter of the Celtics game where he had like 14 points, the Rockets don't do anything to make his life easier a lot of times. Like, they're like, oh, we've got to get Jalen Green rolling, so we've got to give him like 10 pick and rolls in the first quarter or something. And a lot of those lineups just kind of result with the men sitting in the corner or whatever, because none of, like, it's lineups that they don't use him to like punish the defense at all. They just kind of allow him to like be aggressive on the boards and off cuts or whatever, and in transition especially, and get his offense that way. But when there's other lineups on the floor, like when he's running pick and roll with Şengün, or he's the roller with like Fred VanVleet or whatever, just more involved with the offense, like, it's so much easier for him. And Houston has really just like dipped their toes into that bag as far as making his like job on the court easier. So I want to see that continue and everything. And I think it's in their best interest too, because I mean, over these 16 games, best player on the Rockets, what do you think?
It's really hard to to quantify it with them because
Mm-hmm.
and that'll go. Well, first I'll do this thought, then we'll do that because then that'll lead us into the Şengün deserve All-Star.
Yes.
So back to a men's ceiling. So Ben Simmons, I think even if his back never got hurt, major ceiling concerns. Like it probably was never going to work out the way we wanted it to, where he's Giannis.
Yes.
But so other jumperless guys, Giannis is huge, and even he has felt the need to incorporate the mid-range game. He's like, I don't want to do this all game long. So Zion, same height as Amen Thompson, 100 pounds on him, and just a psychopath.
Like a bullet versus a cannonball, really.
Yeah, and he makes it work by being like the only other guy who. One of the few guys in NBA history who, like, if he's like, I'm more athletic than Amen Thompson, you're like, you know what? You're valid.
Yeah.
And when it comes to power traits, there's no one like you. And so Zion can get away with surviving that play style because when he drives at 7-footers, they turn into dust and stuff like that.
And he is also, like, some of the best touch we've ever seen.
Yeah, historic touch, which major difference from it's crazy Zion can't shoot threes. It's I don't know why. Like I guess he's just too strong. Cuz he's nutso. And he's also got a better handle. Like he pulls off some crazy dribble moves and it's like he always gets back to that left hand.
Yeah,
so
everyone knows it's coming the entire time. From like the second he gets a defensive rebound and starts bringing, it's like he's going left. He's at the opposite free throw line. Everyone in the arena is like he's going left, and then just little hop step into the middle of the paint, jumps 12 feet in the air and lays it in with the left hand.
And so we accept. He's been in our lives long enough that we just accept this is a cheat code that exists in the game in the verse. Will that exist for Amen Thompson? Because he is that unique of an athlete, like just off the ground, the hanging in the air, stuff like that. It's just like he's almost flying. Can you exist without any real outside game as him, or is the weight too much of a limiting factor?
Can you I think this concept of like him being on if he could play, I don't think the weight is like a limiting factor. I think he could like average 27 and be really good on a really good team at his current weight or whatever. It's just is the weight a limiting factor in health, and it's like it seems like that's where we're going. I'm not a doctor, but I mean he's never healthy. And so and then we had another quote come out which like the Pelicans are fucking 3 hours away at this point in terms of the standings, but he was like, I feel like I could play back-to-backs, but that's not what New Orleans thinks is smart right now. And so I think play style wise, I really don't have that much like worry about how he plays. It's just...
Do you think he could ever be on ball a ton, play like Shea almost, just relentless attacking on the ball? Or is he just going to continue to be a better version of what we're seeing right now?
Wait, are you asking me about Zion or Amen?
Oh, Amen.
Oh, my God. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. I zoned out. I thought you were talking. That's why I said the New Orleans quote. I'm fucking dumb.
I thought you were just telling me that Amen will stay healthy.
No. So if I think I don't know. Obviously, Shea seems like a bit much for on ball the whole time. I just think they should continue, I guess. Start to like poke around what the limit of it is. Like we're so far from it. We're already doing so little in that regard that, what I think about it right now almost doesn't matter because it's like the sample size is not big enough for me to like really feel comfortable giving like a true prediction. Do you think he could be on ball like Shea this whole time? I feel like we're just I want to know if he could be on ball like for a full 2 quarters with like no real help from like Jalen Green or whatever.
Right now, my feeling is despite the athleticism, he is a guy who can be contained in a playoff series by just building a wall up at the rim with the best defensive players in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, it would be hard for him to consistently score high volume, high efficiency.
And part of the problem is he's such a
going on.
prolific free throw guy. I mean, in this stretch at least, like he's really good at getting to the free throw line or just pressuring defenders. And in the playoffs, like especially if you go against, like if they went against Chet and Hartenstein the whole time, or just guys that have these great defensive reputations, that like if you go against them in a playoff series, they'll probably hit you a few times and you won't get whistles. I feel like that limits his ability more than it does like Shea or Zion's.
Well, I do think he could be a big-time free throw drawing guy in the playoffs still. But what is he shooting from the line in this stretch? I think he's 71% on the year.
I don't think it's much better than that in this stretch. I only have the true shooting percentage written down, but I would wager around 70%, where it's definitely like he punishes people. If you give him 10 a game, it's good for him and everything, but it's not like 90 or anything.
Okay, well, that's not bad. Not Ben Simmons territory. But yeah, overall, when it comes to the best player on the Rockets, it is hard to quantify. I do think it's Şengün still.
Do you think his offense is ever going to come back? What's the deal?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the most skilled post centers ever. I mean, he puts guys in a labyrinth, So
well, why hasn't he then?
Just he's carrying a huge defensive load,
I mean,
that's one of the best defenses in the league.
I fucking guess. Yeah, when Amen's out there.
But yeah, I think it's him because he's the center for a great defense, and he's the hub for a top 10 offense now.
I was watching just watching the Cavs games back. I put out a tweet where like a bunch of Turkish guys got really mad because I was like, I cannot believe he shot this ball. He misses Amen Thompson so much on like for the whole. Oh, he's baby Jokic. That's baby Jokic, man. The complete inability to find baseline cutters or lobs from the dunker spot. Just
shut up.
Despite he goes into the spin move and it's like, oh shit. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Maybe there's somebody open right now. And he just completely does not. Yeah, like Amen is just hands. I'm here. Alpy, I'm open. And like it just never comes. And then he still gets the putback dunk or whatever. So maybe it was a pass the whole time. I have no idea. But yeah. Şengün, I don't know. I just don't know. I'm not a gooner like you are, I don't think.
I'm a major gooner. You think Sabonis is better?
I think Sabonis has been better this season.
His stats are better.
I think if Sacramento had what Şengün has been this season, it would be nightmarish. And you could argue the spacing or whatever for Houston is really tough. It's just yeah, I don't know. I just don't like Şengün's scoring bag that much. But if the touch comes back or whatever, I don't really have that many hard feelings about either of these guys. It's just that when I was watching more and more Rockets tape, I was like, oh, this is, it's the best player on a 2-seed type all-star. The 2-seed's got to get one, and it's definitely, it's not like Jalen Green or whoever, but I agree that it's, any given night, there's a lot of different guys who could be the Rockets' best player.
And Şengün's good nights are really, really good.
Yeah.
I think that would be my argument, is I think a good Şengün night is better than
the
a
best
good Sabonis
of either
night.
one. Şengün's are better.
Yeah. Yeah, because I do think he's just straight up better defensively. But the numbers don't say that. They say they're pretty equal. So
I will say,
to be fair to Kings fans,
good Sabonis game versus great versus good Sabonis game. I don't always really feel the difference, just because it's just more of the shit that he's really good at. Whereas good Şengün game, he just starts fucking around with some shots where it's like, oh, okay. we're doing whatever now, man. And that's fun, at least. All right. Let's keep it pushing. We're an hour in. Do you have any final Rockets thoughts?
Let's see. 3-game streak beating Cleveland twice in Boston is impressive.
Yes, I agree.
Fred VanVleet tried to wipe sweat on Jaren Jackson's hands before a free throw.
I saw
chest. That
that.
was epic.
He's crafty.
Mark Stein says they probably won't make a Fox trade. And then, yeah, I'm Şengün pilled, but if Kings fans are upset, I understand. But I mean, it'd be kind of crazy to give no one on the Rockets an All-Star bid. Because Jalen Green doesn't deserve it. Amen doesn't deserve it. Who would? Like, Şengün's the only one.
Yeah. I was talking about this the other day. I treat All-Star as, like, the fun, subjective one. I care about, like criteria or whatever for MVP or All-NBA or DPOY, just, like, being a bit more serious about that shit. But, to me, All-Star is the one where it's like, wins, losses, subjective case, blah, blah, blah. I'm fine. Like, none of this really, really matters. I just don't care about it that much. And I know that if you play like the Kings have played for the first quarter of the season, probably not going to get an All-Star. It's probably not going to happen, even if you fire your coach and go on a fun little run.
Yeah.
Memphis Grizzlies. Ooh, I fucking love Jaren Jackson Jr. He's so good, dude.
Yeah.
Why is your can't? Oh, never mind. I'm tweaking.
Huh?
Never mind. There was a ghost. 55.
What?
Yeah, there was a ghost. The ghost of Marcus Smart. 3-1 in their last 4.
Markiplier.
Memphis has beat the Rockets, the PELS, the Jazz, and then they lost to the Knicks. Ja Morant has not played in more than 5 straight games this season.
Fraud.
Do you think a lack of consistency could bite Memphis in the postseason at all? We're getting to like halfway through the season. He hasn't been able to be consistently healthy. I would just like to see a long stretch. And it's not that like I don't think Memphis is good with him or he makes him worse or anything like that. I just, the lead initiator going against like good playoff teams, I would like him to be a little bit settled in. Which, especially efficiency-wise, he hasn't been. But, they've been dominant without him and with him. So, I guess I'm just tweaking.
Yeah, I don't really care. For a few years,
Nice.
we had the thing where it's like, God, they're so good without Ja.
That's not what I mean. That's different. Where it's like, how good is he? I recognize that Ja's incredible. I'm mostly just like, I want them to be like firing on all cylinders because I think that's what, like, if they're the team that has a good chance to beat OKC in the West, I think their odds are a lot better if like they enter the playoffs at full strength as opposed to like Ja kind of figuring it out against this insane roster of perimeter defenders in the conference finals.
Yeah, I definitely don't want him rusty. But as long as he's there, I'm not worried. Because their offense, it's not super hard for him to fit in.
Yeah.
Because
I could do it if I could jump that high,
the entire thing is like, okay, so we just try and create on ball. If we can't do that, we pass it and we cut to the open space. So when you just throw in Ja Morant in there and it's like, beat your guy off the dribble. Oh, crap. Okay. He did it right away. And then it's like, all right, we move into open space. Oh, it hit me in the face. The pass came so fast. And so I think there's I'm not concerned at all. And I think Ja, and I guess he is another template for a men, but the handle is far more advanced.
Handle and passing and finishing. Pretty much like around, like he's good. Amen is not really bad at any of that. He's not a great ball handler right now. It's just that Ja transcendent passer and like really, really good acrobatic finisher.
So yeah, and is the last we saw of Ja in the playoffs against the Lakers with the broken hand?
I think that must be it because they missed last year. So yeah. And he was still good in that. So, like, his numbers, even with the broken hand, his numbers still look pretty sick. So, yeah. I'm not, like, super worried about it. It's just, if I have 3 seed expectations for them, if I want them to give the best teams a competitive series, I want him to be in more. Jaren Jackson Jr., sick as hell in the win over Houston, really felt like he swung it for them last night. And then he was also named as an All-Star reserve. How do you feel about that?
That he's a fantastic player. I'm support. I'm all in.
Şengün or
All-Star
Jaren
JJJ.
Jackson?
Who's better?
Yeah, and who do you want if you're building a team?
Plead the fifth.
Yeah, I bet you would. Idiot nerd. I'm taking Jaren
Not
Jackson,
for any reason.
baby.
I just plead the fifth. This doesn't imply anything.
I love
pleading
the fifth is such a funny concept because I get it legally. It is just funny that it's what you're doing right now. Where it's like you can't draw any conclusions from this. I'm just not talking. I'm not. Hey.
It's the centrists. They say you don't know what side of the political aisle I'm on. You don't know. I see things from both sides.
I see things from both sides.
Okay, you just told me.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel about healthcare? I don't talk about that stuff, guys.
I hate big pharma. You know,
but I don't want people
man.
leeching off the state either.
Well, you can't do communism.
Yeah,
I gotta pay for your 2-year-old's bone cancer.
I gotta pay for your child's school. The fuck?
I got my own problems.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think don't get me wrong. I don't love OxyContin, but at the same time, everyone should be able to do whatever they want all the time, including, companies are really just people. Like I get it.
Yeah, legally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yup.
That's
and pizza's a vegetable. Supreme Court said. Yup.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Take that, Mom.
How do you feel about the Jalen Wells Rookie of the Year push?
I think this is a dumb, stupid Rookie of the Year race, but I like him a lot. He's he's good. It's just like it's one of those things where it's like, oh man, Malcolm Brogdon, Rookie of the Year, baby.
So there's no games requirement for Rookie of the Year, right?
I think it's for everything. I was under the impression that every award you have to play 65 games for, including, rookie whatever.
I think it's not, because Khalil Ware, didn't he, skyrocket up in the odds? And he hasn't played enough, has he?
I mean, maybe if he played every remaining game, he could.
I think it might be different, and because also rookies sometimes don't get playing time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
I could be wrong. But either way, I'm okay with him winning it. He's been a good rotation player on a really good team. And there's Jared McCain was better. Jared McCain died.
Yeah.
Khalil Ware might be better. We'll see.
Yeah. No, I'm fine with him winning it. He's genuinely incredible. The fact, the shit they're asking him to do defensively it's really hard. He's guarding incredible players every night while being just super, super reliable offensively. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody is really going to turn into super duper star in this class. Maybe you'll have a few all-stars or whatever, but yeah, I'm fine at this point. What is it going to go to Sar for 30% from the field?
Well, so apparently Ware is number 1. Stefan Castle's number 2.
Oh my
test merchant.
We'll get to you and
Jalen
Stefan
Wells.
Castle. We'll get to that.
Then Jalen Wells, then Sar, then Edie, then the Rizzler. How's the Rizzler so high still?
Because he just dropped 30. And because
did he?
nobody plays at all. None of these rookies play. Where I would be fine, if he just fucking rips off a second half of the season, that is insane. This is the caliber of rookie class that could win you the award or whatever. But yeah, I'd be fine with Jalen Wells. Stefan Castle, I don't personally see the vision compared to some of these other guys, especially in a just this season argument. If you want to do he's the ceiling, but that's whatever. But the rookie season, I don't think he's been nearly as good as Jalen Wells, but Khalil Ware lately also.
Yeah.
I don't really have that much else on the Grizzlies.
Get him out of here.
Yeah, get him out of my face. Oh my god, I forgot who was next. Okay, 104. The Denver Nuggets, 1-3 in their last 4 games. Fucking idiot losers. as we recorded the last podcast, they got their ass whooped by the Wolves, and I was like, ha, I'm not talking about that. They just had a great win over the Kings, and they've also lost to the Knicks and the Bulls since then. So, lost to the Knicks, the Bulls, the Wolves, and then they've beaten the Kings. Life's parallel to hell, but I must maintain, you know? It's one thing to lose to the Wolves. They own us. It's fine. It's one thing to lose to the Knicks. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, he owns Jokic. It's fine.
And you got good Jamal in that game.
Losing losing to the Bulls is tough. Because I was looking at the score in the background of my computer for the whole first half, and they went up like 10 points. And I was like, well, if I turn it on now, they're going to fucking lose. Whatever. Threw it on. 12 straight points for the Bulls. Turned it off. They fucking lose.
Who did it?
I don't even remember. Probably Zach LaVine, I would assume. But
God, he's so good.
I mean, yeah, they're just that was a 3-point variance type thing where the Nuggets shot like 20% on 27 threes and the Bulls shot like 50% on 50 threes, and so they just ended up winning. Yeah, I don't know. So the last time we talked about the Nuggets on the Patreon episode, I was fucking huffing that Kings win, and you asked me, does their recent play make me feel any different about them as contenders? Because they had been on a really hot stretch, and I was like, oh, it just makes it feel like it'd be less miraculous if they beat the Thunder or whatever. It feels it'd be very miraculous if they beat the Thunder. This is not like they're a good team. They're a team that, like, having the best player in the world puts you into fun conversations or whatever, but they're not like a serious team.
Another All-Star break, or another All-Star selection comes and goes. No other Nugs. So Jokic continues his streak. No All-Star teammates. No All-Defense teammates.
Nice.
Or All-NBA.
Or All-NBA. That'd be crazy if someone made All-NBA without making the All-Star. I would assume it's happened.
I feel like that has happened.
It's happened at some point.
Did Harden do that one year? Or no?
I think...
I feel like early Harden might have done that, like 2015 or something.
No, there's a weird thing with Harden where it was like, I think he led the league in assists and missed All-NBA. But I could be wrong. Let me see. Harden stats. Okay. No, okay. That doesn't... 29. So in 2016, James Harden was 29 points per game, 7.5 assists per game, and he missed the All-NBA teams.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was just a crazy year. Okay, so the Nuggets...
He got trade.
Hey, I've heard that's a new thing that's sweeping the nation. And when you get snubbed for something, say, I got trade.
It's an organic grassroots social media movement.
I got LaMelo'd. I got ballsed.
I don't feel that bad about that one.
Oh, no.
Well, I guess the fan vote does make it bogus.
No, it
if
doesn't.
you finish number one...
No, it doesn't.
If you finish number one...
I don't want the general public in charge of anything. I don't want the general public in charge of anything. And so...
Well, what if it's getting LaMelo in the All-Star game?
I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, I get it. The first 15 games were so sick. I do get it. And the numbers aren't, like, it's not empty stats, because they've been, like, pretty solid when he's played. They're, like, 5-4 over his last 9 games. He's just been really...
It is inefficient chucking.
Oh, yes. It's like 40-30-70 shooting splits. It's insane. But you're just, like...
Let me fix my blankets.
You're not going to win. You're not going to... 12 wins? You're not going to get it. I don't know what to tell you people. It's just not on the table at that point. And then also, like, the health thing matters. I don't know what, just because you missed 15 games, I'm supposed to only vote based on whatever. I wouldn't have cared if he did make it. Like I said, All-Star shit really doesn't matter to me. But
yeah, I don't know if I'll watch it.
Oh, my God. Like, the fact that it's, like, the biggest weekend in basketball outside of the playoffs, it's such a horrible, like, ambassador for the sport. It's terrible. Yes.
It's just another checkpoint for people to cry about something. Like, this was better in 2002. Are we in hell because this is bad now?
Yeah, that's why we're in hell. It's because the NBA All-Star Game is bad. It's not because of anything else. Yeah. I don't have that much on the Nuggets, and I do have to go to the bathroom. Do you have anything on the Lakers?
On the Lakers, no.
Or the Clippers?
Crap.
What the fuck? What did you write down? Do you want to do the Nuggets?
I have some stuff, but let's see. Who would I be able to yap solo about the most?
It's going to be 20, 30 seconds.
Oh, 20, 30 seconds?
Excuse me.
Well, you know what? I could do
You
the
know what?
Warriors.
You figure it out. Dealer's choice.
Let's do some Warriors.
Turn your camera back on.
All right, one sec.
Oh my God.
Let's do some Warriors. I'm pulling up my. Alrighty, folks, we're here. Let me turn my camera back on. Okay. I was under 2 blankets. I had to remove the first one so that I wouldn't be way too toasty. So let's talk some Warriors. Let me pull up my notes. They beat OKC with Shea dropping 52. Like I said, fraudulent, but I mean, good for them. The Warriors and the Bulls have held significant trade conversations specifically regarding Zach LaVine, sources told Clutch Points. Golden State is going through all their options, including the possibility of keeping Andrew Wiggins in a potential LaVine situation. And so it's interesting. They've been linked to both Bulls guys. They've been linked to both Vucevic and LaVine. Who would be better for them? Who would be more of a difference maker? I think definitely LaVine, just because he's a straight up better player. One of the more dynamic offensive scorers in the NBA. But it would feel bad swapping out Wiggins for him. So if there was a way to keep Wiggins, that is interesting. That is interesting to be Steph, LaVine, Wiggins, Draymond, Trace, whatever, or Quentin Post. But they would be sacrificing a ton of depth, but we don't even know if the depth is good. When you compare that to Vooch is like good on paper, and it would be interesting to see the Warriors play with a true stretch center, because who have they had before? They had Bogut, who was traditional.
You're talking about Vooch?
Yeah, they had DeMarcus Cousins.
No one cares about that loser.
Well, so the Warriors are linked to Zach LaVine now, too. Which one of them do you think? Which would you rather go for them? Which one do you think would be a bigger difference?
Do you get LaVine and Vooch or Jimmy?
No.
Is that just which one?
Yeah. They don't have enough room for both.
I would prefer LaVine to Vooch pretty firmly.
Yeah, it's the only argument would be the stretch center makes things interesting, but I mean, ultimately,
which is that's a guy who you trade for, and he's like, oh, I'm really a 30% from 3 guy. It was a cool 40 games.
And it's funny that he is having his career year, and they're like, well, not a career year, but he's having a fantastic year, and they're like, yeah, we could get him for some second-round picks. Everyone's like, they'll give him up for multiple second-round picks. And let's see, what is he averaging this year? He's averaging 20 points a game, 10 rebounds on 55, 39, 82 shooting. And so what is this true shooting? With this,
I'm gonna guess 61,
63. So these are fantastic numbers. These are as good or almost as good as the numbers he was putting up when the Bulls traded for him. He was doing a little bit more. He was averaging 25.
I was sold on him as a passer.
You were a fraud, idiot, loser. So
always have been, still am. Yeah, I think so. LaVine just makes there's just so many times out there, even in the win over Oklahoma City they just had, where it's like, okay, Steph if Steph is not dribbling the basketball, nobody else on the floor can dribble and like create separation or get to the rim. No one can do anything. And LaVine just provides so much punch in that regard, while being, I mean, like fake Clay catch and shoot. Like he's an incredible 3-point shooter. And so I do feel like he makes a lot more sense, and Vooch just doesn't. Like, it's cool because I would love to see Draymond in his like, you know, rabid old man years get to play the 4 and just like stop getting his ass whooped by whoever the opposing big is. Just stop giving up 60 pounds. But
well, did you see what he said about crap? Who was it? Oh, Towns.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, you're a pussy for front facing or for fronting the post. You should be back underneath him, fighting him.
Which that's the most old head argument of all time. That's like being upset that they took lead paint out of schools or something. It's just like, well, the way I do it's hard. I have to play the hard way, and everyone else should too. And I mean, it worked. I don't know. Jokic just kind of refuses to shoot against Cat sometimes for whatever reason.
Scared.
He's scared. He's scared. Yeah. So let me go down to my Warriors shit. I don't imagine. I have a little bit. So in their win over the Thunder, Kevon Looney, 18 points, 5 of 7 shooting off the bench. The whole team scored 32 points on 82% true shooting in the fourth quarter. Kyle Anderson hit a fall-away mid-range jumper, shotgun to the chest style. That's how I described it.
That's one of the best isolation scores in the league on a points-per-possession basis.
There's nothing I respect more than a points-per-possession basis, you know? Just give him more possessions, you'll get more points. That's kind of the vibe I get.
Him and Denny.
And, I mean, he's morally justified by being here, you know?
Well, Kyle Anderson's an agent of China. Let's ban him.
That's good. That would be so, I guess, yeah, the IDF guy, he could do whatever, but holy shit, Chinese? God, get out of here. What was I going to say? Reporting that the Suns might be backing away from the Jimmy Butler situation and that the Heat have lowered their asking price. Maybe they could get back into the sweepstakes. Would you prefer LaVine or Butler? Is the thing in my mind.
Butler, I think, because he brings. Well, the problem is you probably have to give up Wiggins, right? If they could do it without Wiggins,
I think you have to do it both ways. I mean, like, it's just too much money. LaVine's making like $40 million this season. I don't think you can scrape that together.
Well, there is a path to landing LaVine without giving up Wiggins or Kuminga. The path involves leveraging Schroeder, Hield, Kyle Anderson, Gary Payton, Kevon Looney, and possibly even Moses Moody. So it's just everyone else.
Yeah.
How could the Warriors do this and fill out the remainder of their roster without surpassing the first apron? Well, it would take a few other teams to make this trade possible, but the Dubs could bring back LaVine and a few players on minimum contracts while also leaving themselves about $1 million to buffer to elevate Quentin Post from his two-way contract to an actual roster spot. And I wonder if they could then do stuff like go after Javonte Green or something like that. I don't know. But I think just in a vacuum, Jimmy's still a higher tier than LaVine because he's a great defensive player, and come the playoffs, I still think he elevates his offense. The funny thing is there was a reporting by KOC that Steph Curry and Steve Kerr would be concerned about his locker room fit. Do you buy that?
Steph Curry and Steve Kerr would be concerned about Butler's locker room fit? I don't know. It depends on whether or not they pay him, I guess. I think if he goes anywhere and he doesn't get paid, he'll be a fucking dick, is probably the reality of the situation. I don't think, especially like him and Draymond practicing together while there's still like a tension in the air of whether or not he's going to get a contract. Yeah, San Francisco would like blow up.
I do think he would fall in line. Because, like, remember Lillard was like that, where for a while he's like, I only want to go to Miami. Do not trade for me if you're not Miami. And then he's like, Well, the Bucks traded for. Come on, I'm Damian Lillard. I'm gonna work hard.
Well, I think it's a lot different to play with Giannis at this stage of his career than to play with Steph and like Buddy Hield at this stage.
Steph is pretty good. Steph is pretty good.
Steph is still incredible. I'm just saying, like they ask him to do way more than he's qualified for, and to be the guy, to be Jimmy Butler, to be the guy who's spent the last 4 years being like, 82 games is for chumps. I'm not doing that shit. So you're really not going to come in and like change Steph's life over the second half of the season. I don't know. I don't think like I love Steph and I would love to see him in a more competitive situation. It's just I don't really know if his life changes in the regular season by adding Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, in the regular season, like they just got to fight for the spot, and then things would change. But I think Jimmy would fall in line if he got traded there, because I'm assuming there's good blood there from like the past Olympic teams and FIBA teams or whatever that Jimmy was on. Everyone loved Jimmy there, and then he is like a hard nose. He's the kind of guy that Draymond would love or hate. I think he would love him, and there's no incentive for him to tank it, because like. I guess Phoenix is the only people out there no matter what. They'd be like,
yeah,
nah,
I suppose
he doesn't want to play for them. Yeah, that's our guy. He's tanking for us.
That's like a domino. Is that like if there's one team out there that would pay, maybe that changes stuff for him. But if nobody out there is going to pay anyways, yeah, he probably would fall in line. It's just also like how much he believes they really have a chance to compete, I feel like, because, you know, if in his mind he's going to a contender and they're good, like they have a serious chance to win the title, I do feel like that's still something he cares about to some degree. But at the same time, if he like looks around and he's like, you know, it's a good team, but are we making it out of the West? You know, maybe he's more concerned about the money at that point. I'm not sure.
I do think money is by far number one, because do people think... I know people love Kevin Durant. Do they really think like they'd have a chance?
To win the title?
Yeah. Like, does Jimmy think I'm a real contender if I go to Phoenix?
I don't feel like it. I feel like there's money there, and it's probably like a more competitive situation.
Yeah, I feel like that's it. And the Warriors would still be... Yeah, I don't know if they'd pay him. But I feel like the Warriors with Jimmy are about as good as Phoenix.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's like a serious team either way.
Yeah. But going back to Levine, who is the best non-Kevin Durant slasher that Steph has played with?
Oh, man. I'd have to go back in my mind a little bit. Are we talking like...
Is it Barbosa? Because D'Lo wasn't that good at it. Oubre wasn't that good at it. Wiggins has moments, but he's not that good at it.
Would you qualify like Iguodala as a slasher?
That's probably it.
Yeah, like he's easily the best like transition athlete that Steph has ever really played with. But well, I mean, besides Durant, obviously. Who'd you say?
What?
You said something.
Oh, I said I was going. I do think it's Iguodala.
I bet that's what you said. Yeah, watch it, buddy.
But yeah, so. Levine, I think more capable half-court slasher than Iguodala. So it would be interesting to see, plus the added shooting element. So yeah, but ultimately they're kind of screwed either way.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to go back up the standings? I suppose. Where did we leave? I left you with the Lakers. Your Los Angeles Lakers. The announcer for the Lakers does this thing where he talks about the Morongo Casino, which I guess is a casino in LA. But he says, I don't know if it's in his contract that he has to say it a weird way, but he goes, "Good times at the Morongo," like every time. It's just like, dude,
he's a performer.
Is that your gimmick? Because he does it with other stuff too. He'll be like, Jack in the Box, get a couple tacos or whatever. And I'm not a fan, but what can I say? I'm a hater through and through. The Lakers, I did not write down what they went in their last 4. Do you have it?
3-1.
Okay, well, they lost to the Sixers, so that's what I wrote down. That's not great. But Bronny, career high 5 points against the Wizards. I follow some Wizards people on Twitter, and one of them just tweeted out, this is the low point of the rebuild, is the whole arena being like, we want Bronny, and then he comes in, and everyone's losing their fucking mind when he scores 5 points, and the Wizards are down 40.
Yeah, and they gave him MVP chance, right? They were mean MVP chance.
I mean, I guess. Yeah. It's just not good. It's not good for the Wizards. But the Lakers, pretty solid lately. I mean, I really don't have that many thoughts about them. They're in every single trade rumor all the time, you know. They've checked up on Levine and Bruce Brown and Vucevic and Jimmy Butler and De'Aaron Fox and everybody. And I don't think anything's really going to happen, but they're just around, you know.
Yeah, if I'm a team, I am interested in the 2029, 2031 picks they have, because I think they'll probably be bad by then. But not enough teams, I think, are going to be interested in that far out. And what's it called? A big problem with a lot of these trades, like a potential Fox trade, is the Lakers' problem is defensively. They're like 20th defense.
Yeah.
And so there's not really someone out there who's going to change their life.
Well, they got Vando coming back.
Could be him.
He might have came back already. Actually, I have no idea.
Would if they spent those picks on bringing a prime Dennis Rodman to the team? How do you feel?
I mean, it's so hard. Does Rodman really change the landscape
He's
of your team
05,
in 2025?
everybody. He doesn't actually know ball. He's 05.
Yo, speaking of the Bulls, Scottie Pippen blocked me on Twitter. Yeah, what the fuck, Scottie Pippen?
What did you do?
I don't know. I probably laughed at one of his crypto tweets or something.
Does he run it?
I have no idea. If he does, that's way funnier. Oh my god. It's not some intern who just doesn't want to see me anymore. It's actually Scottie Pippen in his deep ass voice. This guy's mean. Get blocked.
Do you think you heard our segment where we talked about him being crazy?
Maybe.
With the GOAT debate?
That was pretty deep in the pot, I feel like.
Yeah, but he might have been listening.
Hey, if he's a dedicated listener who we've lost, that is sad. That's upsetting. I wonder if we'll ever have an NBA player who actively listens.
His cheap ass probably wasn't part of the Patreon.
Oh, no doubt. He listens to the full trailer. And then he just gets mad when the trailer ends and he's like, "Why aren't there 2 free episodes?" Fuck you, Scottie Pippen.
Our best chances at having a future NBA player. Is anyone young? Is anyone young and spry?
Brett Phobic, what's your vertical?
How old is Brett Phobic in high school?
Maybe. I have no idea. All right.
Guys, tell us which one of you are in high school. Message us on Discord.
Message Pablo privately on Discord saying,
tell me your measurements and if you're in high
school. Fuck. Who did I just see? It was like Dr. Disrespect just got remonetized on YouTube. So
good. We beat cancel culture.
Nice. I was worried he seriously got canceled, you know.
Did you see the handsome fella stuff?
No.
Do you know who handsome fella is?
This all sounds vaguely familiar. I think I clicked 2 tweets that got me 2 tweets down the rabbit hole, and I was like, I don't feel like going all the way into this.
You might recognize him if you saw him. He's got like curly hair. He's a good-looking guy.
I'll Google. It's like HANSUM, right?
Yeah. So he was dating. Do you know Haley Sharp on TikTok?
No. Who the fuck are these people?
She invented a lot of the OG dances.
I was gonna ask you. Do you know about the Justin Baldoni stuff? Could you explain it to me?
Hey, fucking Justin Baldoni.
You don't have to. I was curious because I told my girlfriend, I was like, Pablo could probably break it all down for me. Would you be capable of doing that?
Yeah, I think we did, dude. I think we did talk about
But there's
that
been
when it
new
happened.
shit since then. A voicemail came out and other stuff.
Oh, I'm not up to date on the new stuff.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure he's the villain.
Yeah, no,
But
I
I
think
don't-
so too. Back to handsome fella. I don't know who this guy is.
He's a Twitch streamer. He was dating another TikToker, and she found out when she was at his house on her birthday that he was cheating on her. He was texting other girls, including a 19-year-old when he's 25. So, uncomfortable age gap, I suppose, is
God.
legal. But
Oh my
legal, but-
God. There's so. I mean, just like, hey, don't get me wrong. Like, it's weird, but at
No,
the
that's
same.
something. That's something. Hassan talks about all the time. When he gets mad, he's like, "You want to cancel Hitler for having an underage relationship and not for the Holocaust?" He's like, it's the #1 issue to Zoomers.
The age gap, I guess. Yeah, I saw a funny
Yeah.
tweet where someone was like, "The thing Zoomers will definitely accomplish is raising the age of consent."
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so I don't care about that part. But he cheated on her, which was mean. He was texting
Mhm.
other girls, and then she made a video about it. So
Mhm.
everyone was like, "Wow, screw this guy. He's a cheater."
Mhm.
And in the summer, he was caught up in the same scandal. Another ex-girlfriend said he did the same thing, but he came out. She deleted that video, and he came out and said, "Complete misunderstanding." And so everyone's like, this guy's not a cheater. But now we're thinking, hey, he might have been cheating back then too. But ultimately, so then it all culminated in she put out another video where it's a phone call with him. It's like 5 minutes where he's begging her to take down the video. And he's like, "Please, please take it down. I'll be ruined. Please."
Because he was cheating on you by texting and whatever.
There's another guy on TikTok who you'd probably recognize. His name is like Cam or something. He was like, it's kind of cute to see someone who still believes that cancel culture is real. Like a guy who thinks his career is over because he got caught cheating. He's like, you didn't kill you didn't say anything racist or kill anyone. Like ultimately, no one's gonna care that much.
People
like
internet
you're a meme
celebrities
guy.
regularly scam their fans out of like $6 million,
Oh my gosh, dude.
and they just come back in like 8 months, and they're like, "Hey, no one knows where that money went." De'Aaron Fox did that. De'Aaron Fox
did
has
that.
rug pulled a crypto scam, everybody, and everyone's mad he's not an all-star, and so yeah,
You said the E word.
Oh, fuck, I did. But I feel bad about that, and I am sorry. Darren Fox is just
And you're ruined.
That's how I would describe it, you know? I swear, Patreon's gone up since then. People have been locked. People love the E word.
We're the pro E word. We're the only ones brave enough to say it in this politically correct world. You don't get that from Shane Gillis.
Oh, you don't get that. Shane Gillis fucking kowtows to Lorne Michaels and the rest of the other people. Fuck, I had a bit planned where I was going to say we were the first DEI NBA podcast, and Pablo's doing this whole episode in a black scent, but I didn't open with that, and so you could start now if you wanted. We talked about this off camera. He said he would do it.
I love Paramore. Black people be like,
Hey, black people be like, Haley, what's Shamik Moore's wannabe girlfriend's name? Haley
Steinfeld.
Steinfeld. Shout out to the Sinners trailer. That looks so good. I'm so excited for that movie.
Josh Allen's wife, future wife. They're engaged.
Then why is he getting fucked by Patrick Mahomes? Oh! Nah, just kidding, Haley. All games. You come on the pod if you want. If you want to hash it out. If you want to yell at us for that, that's fine.
I think she's a Zionist. Come on, let us debunk you, fraud.
Okay, yeah. Debate us in the marketplace of ideas. I'd be like,
That's
Josh
ad
Allen.
hominem.
That's ad hominem. I'm ad hominiming the shit out of
He's
Haley.
gish galloping.
I'd be like, Spider-Verse is mid. You're stupid.
Okay, well, we can't lie.
I can do whatever I want, man. I'm straw manning.
Oh yeah, say the E word again.
Electronic.
Oh, Radio Shack.
Oh, I have hair that's tickling my nose. Fuck, this is why I never don't wear hats. God, my life is so hard.
Shout out to the Lakers fans who are upset we ruined their segment. Go turn on First Take if you want more Lakers talk. Go turn on ESPN. Go turn on Mason in Ireland.
The Clippers.
The big brothers in L.A.
Yeah, the swinging dicks in L.A.
You know why I hate the Cubs so much?
Why?
Because every city that has two sports teams has the big brother, little brother thing, right? But it's always because the big brother is more successful. Like the Lakers are way more successful than the Clippers. The Yankees are way more successful than the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
The Cubs and White Sox both sucked for 100 years. And
the Cubs won.
We won first in 2005, and we're still the little brother because we're the only guys who are little brothers for sucking less and for being. Well, they got to be on WGN.
I thought it was so funny.
Stadium.
The Stay Hot guys, they had like this whole clip where they were arguing about who would be more fun, like a Super Bowl matchup, like when teams haven't won before or anything.
Oh yeah,
and like
I saw that.
like Theo, like fully believes, he's like, well, the Commanders have won before. It wouldn't be their first Super Bowl, so it's not that crazy. Like winning 70 years ago or whatever. It's like, oh well, they've seen it. Everyone's been there before. It's like, who cares?
The funniest thing is NFL fans having the 2017 Warriors or Jordan, and they just don't realize it. They're just like, every year they go into the season, oh, I wonder who will win. No, Mahomes, he's not the best. Lamar's the best. Josh Allen's the best. He's gonna do it this year, and then Mahomes just does it. He's like every year of his career, he's made like the conference finals.
Yeah, essentially. Like he's like, there's like, I mean, how many years has he played? How many Super Bowls has he won? Like I think 3 in 6 years or whatever.
Let's see. I think
the Clippers, by the way, 3-1 in their last 4. They beat the Spurs, the Bucks, the Wizards, and they lost to the Suns. All right, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, well, people get enough Mahomes talk, but he is dominating more than Jordan, more than anyone in basketball ever has to start off a career. And football's a simple sport. 2 teams play, Patrick Mahomes wins. The only time he doesn't win is when he plays Tampa Bay and he's running for his life the entire time, and he was still the most impressive player in the game.
Yo, I read an article. Tim McVeigh, the Oklahoma City Bomber, was a Bills fan. And he came back from the Gulf War and put like his life savings on the 3rd Super Bowl in the 4 straight Super Bowl losses, and because he was like, well, they're not going to lose 3 times, come on, and they lost, and that's not like directly why he did it, but he was like, I'm a lone wanderer now. I'm not paying a phone bill or anything.
No, I think that's why. And also, remember, Trump could have bought them, and that would have saved us. Yeah, he was going to do that.
God fucking damn it. The timeline where Trump and George Bush are like just hammered in each other's fucking boxes at every Rangers-Bills game. It's a beautiful timeline, but it's not the one we live in. We live in the one where they were put in charge of the most powerful military force in the history of the world. It's cool, super fun.
He should be a guy defunding the hot water in the opponent's locker room, or making you pay for the vending machine. Not defunding all of the FAA because Elon Musk had issues with them because we defunded.
Well,
NASA
Tesla should run there should be a bunch of Tesla robots in the towers. And they do, I don't know, they're all serving each other waters or something. And
wait, are they DEI robots or good robots?
What would what's a DEI robot? Can I have a description of that?
A bad robot.
Yeah, but like visibly. What does it look like?
Well, no, DEI? DEI is badness.
Yeah, what's that short for?
I don't know. All I know is when bad things happen, My president gets on stage. He says it's because of DEI.
Oh, jeez, god damn it!
So it was rainy this morning when I woke up. I think it was DEI did that.
DEI rain.
Yep.
I don't have anything to go where. I don't know where to go with DEI rain.
The Clippers timestamp it. Let's talk Clippers.
The Clippers been timestamped for 6 minutes, dude. We've been doing
crap.
Patrick
They're
Mahomes.
gonna be so pissed.
Suck my dick. James Harden, All-Star reserve.
Everybody.
Honestly,
Yeah, let's talk about that. So, should that have happened?
I like it. How do you feel about it?
So it's interesting. Last year, I had an issue with Pablo being an all-star because he was an inefficient offensive player on a team that was succeeding because of defense. The Clippers are a fantastic defensive team. What are they in offense? They're a pretty bad offense, right?
I would assume 17th if I had to guess.
I think they're 20th or in the 20s. They might be right with the Lakers. Let's pull this up. They are 20 exactly in offense. Oh yeah, the Lakers are 20 defense. The Clippers are 20 offense.
The city of 20s. That's what they call it.
The city of 20s. So James Harden is the offensive engine for this team, but he's
for this bad offense.
For this bad offense, and his numbers aren't that good, and so. Is that the guy you reward when Norm Powell is right there, like putting up crazy efficient offensive numbers, but he also is clearly a benefactor of James Harden despite the numbers. And so
the way I look at it is, I really did not have a problem with Paolo Banchero all-star selection in a vacuum last year. I had a problem with people being like, "This is LeBron James." And this is like, he's the reason. I don't really feel like people are, James Harden is the reason that the Clippers are good. It's more so a reasonable, like, James Harden is keeping them afloat on the offensive end of the floor. They're not a good offense. He's not insanely efficient, but he's doing just a ton of, like, load, like, just huge offensive load, usage rate type shit. And he's doing it fairly effectively for a guy who's like a lot of people had written off. And I don't think, like, I just think my personal frustrations with the whole Paolo thing last year was just like how people talked about him as if he
and he made it in Scotty. Or wait, Scotty did end up.
Scotty was an
injury
replacement. Yeah. And I don't know. Like, the Scotty thing, him making it over Scotty, it's fine. I don't care. Because of the wins thing, I mean, it's not that much different than like a Hero versus Maxey debate this season or whatever. But it was just like, yeah, people kind of talked about him like he was already the prime version of what he's going to be. And like he's backpacking some insanely undermanned roster to like this crazy seeding or success. And really, it was just that they couldn't shoot, and like that's hard, but that's not the only way to win games, I guess. I don't know.
And I should say, Harden is definitely a better offensive engine than Paolo was, and the Magic at that point were like the 27th ranked offense, or like 28th.
Yeah.
So it was like, take Paolo off that team. What do you have? It's like, okay, 29th, 30th offense.
And I mean, with the way the Franz, I mean, whatever. I'm not going to go down that route. That's not productive.
Well, that was last year. Harden, is it valid to be like, if this team was 25th in offense, they're not in the playoffs, or if this team is 27th?
I think so.
What seed are they?
Probably like 7th, 6th. Nuggets are 4th, Lakers are 5th, Clippers are 6th. Yeah. So they're 6th. The margin of everything in the West is very, very slim. If they're like the 25th, 27th, they are probably not in the playoffs right now.
Who is 25th? So 25th is Portland in offense.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have a specific answer. I just, like, vibes-wise, again, as someone who kind of treats the All-Star selections as more fun, less serious, I think subjective vibes case, Harden's is fine. Harden's is fine. It's not the best we've ever seen or anything. Just a typical all-star reserve case to me.
Yeah, and it is legacy. Like, that's a big part of it. But I honestly, and I should point out, Clippers fans are not upset. Like, all Clippers fans are like, no, this is our guy. This is the guy on the team who deserves it.
Yes.
So I guess that's all that matters too. But I just feel bad for Norm Powell.
I hope he wins
really.
Most Improved. That's really my hope for him. Because
Is there anyone who's going to be an injury replacement?
In the West, I don't think so. I'm not sure. I don't have the lists in front of me at all, but I don't believe so. I think a lot of the injury replacements were like last year they announced the All-Stars, like voting had wrapped, and then like Jared Allen or whoever got hurt, and that's why Scotty had to come in. But yeah, I don't think there's any at least scheduled right now.
Yeah, so maybe AD will go down before then. But yeah, and then in general, the Clippers are just a hard team to assign the credit for that defense to one guy. Like Zubats, is he going to get it? Is like, if it's not Harden, who is it?
Yeah. And yeah, to me, Norm Powell's having the season that he is in part because of Harden. It's everything. He's the reason Zubats has been able to be such an effective role man. He's the reason that Norm has been able to have a career year and be incredible and, win them games. But I would still, like, when you watch him, it's Harden to me.
Yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts about the Clippers?
It's fine. I just wish Norm got it, because they have the winning argument and then he's got the stats argument. And I don't think it makes too much of a difference if he got picked over Harden. But outside of that, Kawhi is back and he's looking really good. He had 27, 6 and 7 against San Antonio. He's looking like Kawhi.
Mm-hmm.
Over the last 10, they have the number 1 net rating in the NBA, number 15 offense. So Kawhi's worth 5 spots.
Holy
and
crap.
Number 1 defense. So if Kawhi is Kawhi, how you feeling about these boys?
Hey, how are you feeling about them? You can have this conversation with yourself.
Elite defense around Kawhi, James Harden, Norm Powell as his 2 offensive co-stars, some interesting role players. You know who leads the league in transition scoring?
Per possession or total?
Per possession.
The Clippers.
Well, no, individual players.
Kawhi.
No.
I don't know.
I forget who's number 1. But number 2 is Amir Coffey, and number 4 is Norm Powell.
It's your stat, dude.
So
whatever.
That's pretty epic. So yeah, I'm interested in the Clippers. I'm #noticing.
#noticing. I don't. #give. #a fuck. #timestamp. Out of my
Kawhi
face.
doubter. Smite him.
Yep.
Banish him.
That's my real problem. Guy who just still doesn't believe in Kawhi. He's like, hey, even if he's healthy, I don't give a fuck. It was all fluky.
It's not a health issue. It's a performance issue. Actually, no. I'll save that for the Jazz segment.
Hey, we'll save it for the Jazz. The Wolves. Do you have any Clipper? You just said do you want to finish off something?
No, screw them.
Fuck them. 4-0 in their last 4. The Wolves They're beaten. Oh my god. You guys have no idea what it's like to work with this fucking guy. Oh my god. They've beaten the Jazz, tortured Pinas. The Jazz, the Suns, the Hawks, the Nuggets. Anthony Edwards. Playmaking. Kind of cool lately. And he's been playing out of his mind. I mostly wrote down shit about Rob Dillingham. Shifty stuff aside, really good game. The Jazz were up 14 points when Dillingham and Naz Reid checked into the game. They closed the quarter on a 14-4 run, and the Wolves had the lead by the 9:21 mark of the second quarter. He's really good in a class that we were talking about earlier, where it's like a Jalen Wells Rookie of the Year. If he had played, the whole season up to this point, he could be in the mix. I don't know.
It's his first. Well, you know what I love about his game against the Jazz? It's like the most.
What do you love?
It's pure 2000. 19 points, 0 rebounds, 8 assists. I'm a point guard. I'd score and I pass.
I let the bigs get the rebounds.
That's not my job.
He's fucking 40 pounds. What do you want him to do?
Well, Trae Young gets like 4 a game.
Well, Trae, I mean, that's the defensive player of the year, dude.
That's true. That's true.
Good lord. Trae Young's also like so much bigger than Dillingham. Like Dillingham, I like him. He's cool.
Oh, I don't know.
It is a problem. I mean, are you serious? I feel like Dillingham is so like Trae's at least put on some muscle since he's come into the league.
He's a little bit more compact for what he is, but he's still a real little guy. They're both
I don't
real,
care.
but Dillingham is crazy tiny. And yeah, it's just hard for me to imagine that guy like driving to the lane in the playoffs consistently. He's so tiny.
Holy shit! Dillingham acrobatic layup. He's going to the hospital because Anthony Davis helped over too hard. That's really sad. You hate to see that, but he's good.
Well, I think I said this before, but the first time I saw Dillingham was in OTE, and I was like, this guy's ass. This guy can't create separation at all. And it was because he was being guarded by the Thompson twins. So if we end up getting that kind of rematch, oh brother,
guy getting a
he's
C-
in
in I don't know, rocket physics or whatever. I can't do anything right. This is impossible.
It's like, just imagine being Rob Dillingham and you're going against that. It's like, okay, am I faster? No. Am I quicker? No. Am I stronger? No. I'm shorter. I weigh less. Yeah. But I have heart.
I have heart.
Not more than him. His middle name's Excellency.
Hey,
God, he memorized everyone in his draft class. I was just happy to go at 8.
Did you see? They wrote down their dreams. It's a list called Amen and Asar's 6ix9ine Dreams, where they had like a checklist of like 200 push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups a day, all these workouts and stuff, and then like David Goggins for 9-year-olds, but it worked out.
Oh God, imagine like David. Imagine competing with them if you're David Goggins. It'd be like a guy who's maximized his whatever talent he has. He's like wringed the towel bone dry, and there's these guys that could just do anything. They set their mind to. That's nuts.
It's like Batman versus Superman, where it's like, oh, cool, I'm the peak of normal guy, and you're just naturally not normal. It is. I think David Goggins, he gets beat by women, but they're better. They're better at like long distance running, and so I guess it is just impressive that he does it with his frame because he's a bigger guy. Yeah. And all the I just think it's funny every time I hear about David Goggins. It's like he finished a race with 3 broken ankles and his knees were bending backwards, and he just barely limped over the finish line. It's like, dude, how is this happening? Do you ever just normal finish a race without like shitting your pants and breaking your arms?
No, because he's not built for that sport. He does it anyway, and then the like famous clips are like, it's supposed to be a 3-man team. He's a team by himself. It's 100 degrees. You see the footage of him running like next to 5 foot, 100-pound, not even 170-pound women. And, he's an interesting guy. I think we've talked about him before. Where like, it's good he's not overtly right wing. Like he is just openly, I'm a workout psychopath. I'm all about discipline. He doesn't try and venture into other insane stuff.
Which is base. That's the most base thing you can do. Is just understand your realm and be like, hey,
He's a true politics not carer.
Hey, he's a centrist, you know. He's like, which side's gonna let me run more? Who's holding more races? That's what I want. Hey, DEI, more races. There you go.
Well, it would be bad races for DEI.
Oh, like short, easy races. That's not what Goggins wants. Okay.
Well, I don't know how they'd be bad, but they'd just be bad, you know, because DEI is in it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pin you down on this one of these days. I'm gonna get you to describe what it means besides bad.
Well, it's just bad. Like, some things are bad. Do we have to do more than that? Like,
I mean, but like, what makes it good? What makes it good when it's not DEI?
The absence of DEI. And so, like, a sunny day, no DEI. Oh, but sunny
cloudy
day with DEI.
DEI.
Well, cloudy day, no DEI or DEI?
Either or, take your pick.
So cloudy day, no DEI. Oh, Twin Peaks vibes. Good noir. Cloudy day with DEI. This is the worst day.
Okay, transgender black pilot, no DEI.
Awesome. Progressive base.
Okay, cool. A meritocracy.
Mhm.
But with DEI, how do you feel?
Kill that person and get him out of the country.
It's so fun. I've seen so many
everything.
clips of fuck, who's that guy with the really gummy, like, fucked up smile? I think it's Charlie Kirk, who's like, he won't even like really like take a harsh stance on the racism. He's like, if I see a black pilot, I'm like, hope that guy went through his school good or whatever. Like, it's never like, oh, I'm getting off the plane. It's just him being like, oh, jeez, like, dude, dude, I know you don't care. I know you're faking because of shit like that.
It's interesting that they kind of went hardcore after the disabled for this. That's who's at fault for the helicopter crash. It's the disabled. No
How?
one,
I haven't heard about that.
Well, I mean, the pilots and the air traffic controllers and everyone involved were straight white cis able-bodied men.
Yeah.
But Trump went up there, did his speech, and he said it's because they were doing DEI at the airports, and they were hiring people with disabilities, with mental disabilities and stuff like that. So it's the disabled. They're trying to make everyone disabled.
I mean, involving a bunch of people in a plane crash, probably. I mean, they're all dead now, so that's fucking sad.
Four lived.
Four people lived?
They pulled 4 out of the river. I don't know what's happened since then.
What a fucking disaster.
Are you close to there or no?
I know some people who are close to there. I've been like I could go there. Like, the movie theater I go to it's close to the river, but it's far away from, I think, where the crash happened.
They were flying in from Kansas. Could have been flying in from Nebraska. Same place.
I genuinely did. I was like, oh shit. Which, I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. Tangentially, I'm sure eventually I'll encounter something. Like, my cousin will know somebody who knew somebody who went to school with somebody who was on the plane. Figure skaters, I guess, was the big thing.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Ironically, rest in peace. Very sad.
Luka Garza, he played as well, from Iowa. He's a big guy. The anti-Dillingham.
Oh my God! Could not have more different people. And that's why
went,
diversity is important. If you had a 5-foot Luka Garza doing Dillingham shit, it would be terrible. That's why you need people from different walks of life. If you had Dillingham doing Luka Garza stuff, it wouldn't work.
I agree wholeheartedly. I love diversity.
I love inclusion.
I love that too.
Yeah. It's just I don't know. Something about
I love equity.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm totally on board with equity. All three, so diversity, equity, and inclusion. Love
awesome.
Yeah. And then it's just a shame. I'm trying to loop this back around. I don't know how to get to DEI. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like individually, diversity, good, equity, good, inclusion, good, DEI. Ugh. What the hell? We gotta go. We have so many teams left. I'm realizing. All right.
There was a really cool Anthony Edwards, Kevin Garnett Sprite commercial. Did you see it?
No.
It was really cool. It was like they were teammates. It was epic. I wish they were.
I kind of
teammates.
don't believe you. Sounds lame.
What?
I don't like old stuff. Kevin Garnett's bad.
Just I don't like Kevin Garnett because he's old stuff. Jaden McDaniels leads the league in minutes guarding a 20-point per game ball handler.
Okay. What about
He poked Devin Booker. You saw it
it? Poked him where?
in the head.
That's insane. I didn't see that.
Because Devin Booker did that to him, I think, before, and so then he got in his face, boom, boink. But yeah, they got heat in that game. But the last 10 games, Timberwolves' offense is 4, their defense is 10, so they've really pulled this thing back around. Julius Randle has good games every now and then, but still, he's shooting like 22% from 3 in January.
My entire timeline is just Wolves fans being like, "Oh God, he's gonna pick up the option." No.
Oh, do they think he is?
I think so. It's because the deal he wants is not out there after the way he's played this season. Like, I just don't think it's on the table. So, yeah, I think he'll probably pick up the option.
What a nightmare. Yeah, I would rather pay Brandon Ingram than him. That's all I got on the Wolves. They're 4-0 in their last 4. They're playing real well.
Yo, should we just plagiarize Nerd Sesh's YouTube? Their clip just came up on my Twitter.
And alongside me is Logan Camden, and today we are going to be talking about basketball. We love basketball, and so today we are going to talk about...
That's what this podcast would sound like if it fucking sucked. Oh my God.
Yo!
Yo!
You know why that sucked? They were DEIing that podcast.
Oh,
that
dude,
was
Nerd
DEI
Sesh,
in action.
like, what letters can you not spell Nerd Sesh without? D and E. That's 2/3.
Logan. Login.
Carson Breiber.
Carson.
Cars out. Yeah, fuck you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, the Mavs, 3-1 in their last 4, beat the Thunder, the Wizards, the Pelicans, and then they lost to the Celtics. No Kyrie All-Star selection. What the heck? How do you feel? Are you black powering? What is that?
No, shoot. I was. Well, yeah, I am. No, it's not right.
No DEI. There's no DEI. Come on, dude.
I was gonna go like this. So Kyrie, don't.
Okay.
I don't care that you're not an All-Star because you are anti-Semitic officially.
Okay.
But also, how many games has he missed?
A fair amount. I'd say.
Fair amount.
I mean, I don't know off the top. Let me Google it. Let me fucking look it up
I was
for you.
I promise we won't derail this segment. So no talk about Kyrie and Sneeko. But I don't care that he's not an All-Star.
He's played 38 games this season.
Okay, that's kind of a lot. I mean, that's kind of a decent amount. I don't care though.
It's fine. I don't give a fuck.
The Mavs are the only team with 25 wins and 0 All-Stars.
That's fine. I don't care.
Dante Exum is one step closer to making his season. He actually might play tonight. I think that's tonight against the Pistons.
Cool. I mean, that's
He's
a game changer.
Shooting 40% on low volume last year. Maybe he could
Nice.
pump that up. Maybe show us a thing or two. Wait, do they play? Yes, they do. So it's 6 p.m. I don't know if he's playing. You know who's really been killing it for them?
Who?
Daniel Gafford.
He has the landlord.
Is that what they're calling him?
Well, that was his nickname in DC. I think it's because rent is due or something like that. I don't remember, but yeah.
How was that? What's the play there? What's the
I don't
reference?
know. If you let me look it up. But what has he been playing like lately?
19, 11, and 2 on 73% from the field. And I was looking at his career true shooting. He's like always above 70.
Yeah.
5 free throw attempts a game, 82% from the line, 3.4 blocks a game. He had like a 30-point game against someone. So he's playing real well. And then Klay Thompson. Did you see he had a vintage Klay Thompson moment against Washington?
Yeah, I mean, everyone does, you know. It's free career games against the Wizards is what they're saying. So 21 in the first quarter for Mr. Thompson. Go ahead.
Oh,
who cares?
God. What a guy. So if
What did he finish with in that game?
Only like 23, and I think
Cool,
he didn't make another 3. But it doesn't matter. He had the explosion, so that was cool.
It's called hot hand. That's what Klay's famous for, guys.
Yep, and then it cooled down because that's the nature of things. So oftentimes things that get hot, they actually cool down to a more normal temperature. And then last thing, Omax Prosper. We've been getting some good Omax Prosper. He was prospering against the Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped, what is it? He dropped 20 on them, and he's had a couple random games where, like, against the Thunder, he dunked on Jalen Williams in one. In another, he dropped, like, 14. He's very much just, like, he's kind of like bootleg Amen Thompson, where he's just, like, flying around with his athleticism. And I looked at, he's only a 6'6", he's like 6'6.7 barefoot, so 6'8"-ish in shoes, but he looks enormous out there. And I know his wingspan is massive. His defensive potential is sky high, super high motor. And what's interesting about him is he has a power element to his driving game. If he were to ever get his handle down, like, he could do some real damage, even with a sus jump shot. He can, like, with a runway, he can move defensive centers out of the way. He could dislodge them. Okay. So I wasn't a super big Omax guy in the draft because I thought he was just too raw, but I like what I'm seeing. I don't know how much meaningful stuff we'll see in the playoffs from him, but he's very cool.
Now he's too raw in a good way. Yo, this guy's raw as hell. Oh my god, something like that. Yo,
he's wrestling raw. I never watched wrestling.
I liked Triple H when I was younger, but beyond that, I don't really watch anymore.
Sorry, I was watching real stuff, like the Uchiha Massacre.
Like the Real Housewives, because you're a girl.
Ooh,
boom! Oh my god, fucking nuked. Going to the Suns, baby.
No, if I'm watching all girls, if I'm
3-1
watching all
in their
girls,
last 4, beat the Nets, beat the Wizards, beat the Clippers, lost to the Wolves. All I wrote down was Katie loves smiling when Ant fucks them up, dude. Ant was cooking, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, fuck you, I fucking run this place." And Katie was just like, "He's the next generation." Oh my god. So yeah,
I built this. Yeah, the Suns are playing well at the funniest time. They are 9-5 in January. But a lot of the wins the majority are from bottom feeders, like the aforementioned Washington Wizards.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We got a little bit of an intel war. So
okay, I love those.
Actually, no, I'll save that for a different team.
All right. God damn it. Let's call it an Easter egg, guys.
Yeah.
He's planting the seeds for things that are going to come back later.
You ever heard of Chekhov's gun?
You ever heard of Chekhov's cum?
Okay, grow up. Evan Sideri reported that Phoenix... oh, yeah, this was such a funny alert. So Evan Sideri from Clutch Points reported, Phoenix continues to send the Heat various trade packages daily to try and acquire Butler within the next week. So
that's really funny.
It's got to just be like on Fanspo or whatever, just like 4 different of the most, like, just 4-team, the most convoluted deal. Like, what if we did this?
I call this one the Rhymer. Bradley Beal, Royce O'Neal. How you feel about that? And Pat Riley's just like, stop calling.
You've called 3 times today. What do you want? I know. But how do you feel about Moussa Diabate?
What do you say we get Chris Middleton down there?
You guys can fix his ankles, I bet. I know you, Pat. But Bradley Beal's agent, he said, we earned that no trade clause. It's very valuable, but that doesn't mean we would never accept a trade. So we got a little Game of Thrones going on here. Like, there was some
guy who
smoke
earns money by scamming old people. I earned. What do you mean? I earned it.
There was some smoke that Beal could end up on the Bulls, but he shut that down. He's like, not going there. Not going to that dumpster.
Jeez.
But yeah, the Suns, really, it's just got to get over with. Do we just need the trade deadline to talk about how this team will look going forward so we know?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want the trade to happen?
To Jimmy to the Suns?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I'd say yeah. It makes things
I'd like something to change. You know, it just like it doesn't matter. Nothing's gonna the Suns aren't gonna win the title. The Heat aren't gonna win the title. It'd be cool. You know, full Khalil Ware Tyler Hero moment in Miami. Run that shit. Spam that shit. Yeah, just different looks. Plus, I do want to see like Jimmy Butler and Paul George going age 38 for 38 season, getting $1 billion each, and just see what that looks like from everyone.
They should team up.
Yo, that'd be crazy. Embiid for oh, that was something I saw. There was like a Bill Simmons clip floating around where is it Eddie Johnson who does the Suns calls?
I don't know.
I think it was Eddie Johnson, but it was like a Suns guy that Bill had on the pod, and Bill was like, and at this point it seems like Embiid, like the Suns would trade Bradley Beal for him, and the Eddie Johnson's just like, no, we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do that. No, we wouldn't do that. That goes on for like 45 seconds of Bill being like, I mean, did something change that I didn't know about? That's insane that you guys wouldn't do that. What are you talking? And the whole time he's just, no, we would not do that. The Suns would not do that. And then at the end he just goes, I'm joking, Bill. I'm just joking.
That's epic.
And like nobody laughs. It's just like, oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, Suns. I don't have shit written down on them. You want to keep it pushing?
Yep.
All right. Yep. I'm so hungry. The Kings, speaking of hungry, they're hungry for some action. 2-2 in their last 4. They've beaten the Warriors and the Nets. They lost to the Nuggets and the Knicks. No Sabonis, no De'Aaron Fox All-Stars. What the heck? What the freaking heck, guys? Fuck. Shit. What do you think?
Well, I'm surprised that's what you lead with. Fox is gone. Fox is going to be traded.
This is the most nothing happens. I mean, if this doesn't go through, because there was the report a while ago when this first came out where it was like the reports from Fox's camps. There's no list of teams. It's either San Antonio or Sacramento, and I'm just like, okay, well, they'll probably just figure out the fucking Sacramento thing. But it'd be cool, I guess.
I think what happened, I'm pretty sure what's happened is he's told them I'm not going to re-sign. So I'm not demanding a trade, but I'm not going to re-sign. So
okay.
I think the Kings are like, oh crap, let's get some value. This guy's 27. So I think they should just blow it all up. But I've been saying that forever.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to, because every other report with the Fox thing is like they want draft capital, but they also want win now players. They want some people that are going to keep them competitive, and so yeah,
straight out of the caveman playbook. But San Antonio, I would hire me as a consultant. I'm harshly recommending we do not do that. Just wait for him in free agency. No point in giving up even. I'm low on Stephon Castle. No point in giving up Stephon Castle for De'Aaron Fox and picks. Because what are you doing? You're moving your mid-team up timeline to be even a little better. You're not. Would the Spurs with Fox now be better than the Kings right now?
Yeah, I think so.
How
I
much
mean,
better?
Pretty soundly. Do they get to keep Devin Vassell?
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like I don't know.
So I'll go through everyone who's in front of them. Golden State, you'd think they'd be better than them.
Yeah.
They'd be better than Sac because they would fall down. Would they be better than Phoenix?
I think so.
Dallas?
Probably cut off there. And to be honest, Phoenix could still be better than them. I don't know. I love Wemby.
So they're up into play-in territory.
Yeah. And I think that's like if they got him today. Like if you have a full season of a full off season of work and they come in and everything. I love Wemby. I mean, obviously, it's literally the GOAT. And I don't know. I just feel like getting him like an actual point guard, ball handler, dynamic scorer type person besides Vassell. Like when Vassell's out there, there's already these flashes where it's like, holy fuck, this is so cool. And so to get Fox, I mean, a guy who we've genuinely seen be like a 28 point per game scorer, I get that they're like, you probably have some questions about like locking themselves into that timeline or giving up assets to get him or whatever. For me, I just think it'd be cool.
Yeah, I recommend it against it because if that's his number one choice, if the first news we get is, hey, I want to go to San Antonio, I'm telling him, okay, just come for free.
Yeah, that's fair.
2026.
Like, just why would we give up the assets?
Yeah. It does complicate things that Wemby is so good already, and they're out of qualifying for.
They're not a
for
lottery
for
team
top picks
anymore. Yeah.
But like I said, like I texted you, I'd rather trade up for VJ.
I did tweet that. It got like 1,000 likes.
What was the reception?
Well, I
What did
tweeted
people
a
say?
screenshot of it, and I said he deleted Twitter. And so, but a lot of people were like, "Here, I'll show you the screenshot." I tweeted like the full 3 text thing where it was like dash Pablo Escobar at the bottom, and a lot of people were like, Pablo knows ball. This is smart. This is good. Yeah.
So
Someone responded, quote, "Trade up. Does he know?" So like implying that the VJ Edgecombe will be on the board when the Spurs are picking.
We're in trouble. We're in trouble if that's the case. VJ, I've been watching so much VJ Edgecombe.
I
He's
can
literally
tell.
a
You're
Lost
hyped.
Thompson twin. Oh my God, he is game wrecking defensively, and he's the same as Amen, where he just flies around and makes stuff happen all game long. But he's also got like on ball crazy juice.
Okay.
And his jumper's much more livable. I watched him play. I watched him beat down Poland yesterday. Jeremy
He
Sohan.
beat off Poland. Holy shit.
No.
He did. Gay brutalist. Wait,
But
he was Hungarian. My fault. What am I thinking? I'm thinking of a Real Pain. They were in Poland.
yeah. But VJ Edgecombe is going to be a monstrous defender, and he's going to bring a lot of the.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's going to bring a lot of what you would theoretically want from Fox, but like he's a more powerful rim slasher.
He's just going to be better.
Yeah, he will be. I guarantee it.
Nice.
and,
Cool. I love it.
He's nuts. He literally he fights for a lot of the games he spends time
Jesus.
as
Okay.
center on defense, and he's guarding 7-footers. He's like pushing them out of the way, battling for rebounds.
I can
He
tell that you're
swats
super passionate because you go.
so many shots.
He's when he and then he's fighting and it's when he sometimes. Yeah. Other
But
shit
no,
I have.
he's going to be a monstrous defensive player, and so if you threw him at the one with Wemby, that's the start of the
What about the two?
impenetrable defense.
I mean, okay. What about
Well,
Castle? Where's Castle
Castle's a-
gonna go?
Castle's a great defensive player, so he can fit in. He's just got to learn to hit jumpers. But yeah, I want to build an impenetrable fortress if I'm the Spurs. I don't want to go in on De'Aaron Fox. Oh wait, this is the Kings segment. So yeah, if I don't really want to do that if I'm the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it would make sense for the Rockets, but I've seen reporting. Did I say it already? I think it was Mark Stein said we don't want to do it. You know what 2 spots I do think would make sense? That'd be
What?
interesting. Orlando, because
Would be
they
cool.
are a team that has elite defensive infrastructure, so they can absorb that kind of guy, and they just need someone to drag that offense up. And he might be that guy. And the shooting is a little bit of a concern, but whatever. And then the other team I think would be the Pistons. I don't even know if that's in play, but I was just thinking about how do the Pistons get talent going forward, because they're done getting high picks. And
Yeah, it's
like,
really tough for them. I was thinking about their timeline the other day too, where
Yeah.
it's like if Asar, who I'm not like out on, I feel like a lot of like in the Amen leap vacuum, people are like, well, Asar's just the worst one or whatever. And I'm not going to make any bold predictions or anything, but I do think the blood clot shit was very disruptive to what was a very formative offseason for Amen, and so I think I'm just gonna like if Asar takes that leap, they're in a much better spot. But beyond Cade, like Ivy's cool, fun.
What did he do? Did he tear his ACL? I forget what happened.
Ivy broke his leg, and so
he broke
you know,
it. Okay, he could come back.
Yeah, structurally, it's not like big losing athleticism thing. The
Jordan
same
broke
way.
his leg.
Hey, exactly. There you go. So that's what Jaden Ivey's going to be. It's just, yeah, you are with the Pistons. You don't have a ton of weight. You're not going to be getting super high draft picks anymore. But you also don't really have anybody in the young core who's like clear number 2 or other shit. Did someone just knock on my door?
Twice. Knock, 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 knock on my door. Knock, 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 knock. Yeah, Ron Holland is pretty raw as well.
Is that in a K-pop song?
Yeah, by Twice. Stan Geo by record Nyan. The Pistons, and they're not like a hot free agent destination. I mean, maybe Cade will attract some people?
I guess, but like,
because other players do think very highly of him, but Detroit just doesn't seem like that. Like maybe if climate change accelerates, and fresh water is cheaper there, it's only like $20 a bottle instead of $100. Maybe then other players
they're giving it
there.
away.
Yeah. But outside of that, I feel like it might be hard. And then, so you can give up. You could give up some picks or whatever. You could give up the young guys you have, not Asar, but like, you'd be willing to part with Ivy for Fox, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One thing
and
I've thought about a lot with Detroit. How would you feel about Levine getting traded there?
I wanted that last year. I wanted Ivy for Levine, and I still think it'd be good for them. But I would accept very little in return.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is like, honestly, if I'm Detroit, I'm willing to part with like a lot of the young guys. I would like to keep Ivy or whatever, but there's other people. I don't know. You could fucking fleece the caveman. So yeah, I do think. Yeah, it's just the reporting. None of it matters. Like, it's San Antonio or bust. So if Detroit gives up assets for him, I feel like he'd walk a lot of different places. I feel like, because it's not like the Jimmy Butler thing where it's like, I feel like Fox is still so in the midst of his prime that he's not going to settle down once he moves somewhere just because he got traded. I think he would probably, like, if he has the chance to walk to the place where he wants to spend the next 7 years next to Victor Wembanyama, yeah, that's what he'll do. And so, yeah.
Well, the bright side is, did they get a higher contract for making All-Star team or no? Is it only All NBA?
I think there's probably some. I think it's probably like gradual incentives where All NBA is the big one, but All-Star. Actually, I don't know. I'm not sure.
He
off
would
the
have
top
a better
of my head.
chance at being an all-star in the East. And also, we've learned nobody ever hits free agency anymore. They just sign the massive extension and then ask for a trade. So even if he did ask for a trade, I guess you get to trade 28-year-old, 29-year-old De'Aaron Fox. So it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I don't know if it'll happen. But yeah, Sacramento, I think you guys got to blow it up. I think you got to start calling about Sabonis and DeRozan and Monk.
Yeah. I don't have any thoughts on him beyond that. Fuck him. Get him out of my face. Do you respect Aaron Schroeder?
Never.
Never. Of course not. 222.
22.
Shut up. The Warriors. 3-1 in their last 4.
We already did it.
Oh, nice. Epic. Spurs at that point then? So the other side of the De'Aaron Fox trade? All right, I wrote down nobody. Oh, so 1-3 in their last 4. Losers, career loser, Victor Wembanyama. They've beaten the Pacers, and then they lost to the Clippers, the Pacers, and the Heat. They've only played twice since they went to Paris last week. Nobody in the NBA has more wins against Victor Wembanyama than one Ivica Zubac. So, rivalry brewing, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. What's his nickname like that?
I've seen it, like it's just like his name, and they put all the centers in there. Like Shaq is in. They do ZUBAC, and they put every great center's name in there.
Let me see. Zubac. I'm going to basketballreference.com. Hopefully they have that nickname for him at the top. I'm trying to think. Zoo Alcindor is what I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
Which that's solid. I like that. But yeah, I don't know. Spurs just heavily involved in the De'Aaron Fox stuff. They love the shit out of Stephon Castle. They think Stephon Castle in a few years will be a De'Aaron Fox equivalent and are not willing to include him in trade packages. Most of my timeline is reacting to that news. They're coming to the same conclusions as you, but nobody is really approaching it from the angle of just sign him in free agency. You don't have to give him up. Everyone's just kind of like, oh, they're dumb for valuing Stephon Castle that much, and they should like not even hesitate to give him up.
Yeah. Did you see what Anthony Davis said about Wemby?
No, I did not.
He said that if he wins DPOY, it would be due to an NBA narrative. He said he's not a real
DEI DPOY.
Yeah, he's not a real defensive player there. It's just the narrative. The NBA wants to sell everyone that we got this big young star.
Mm-hmm.
What an insane thing to say about Wemby. I'm sorry, brother. He's already
you could
better
do
than
it.
you.
Do it with Gobert. Do it on Gobert's
They
third.
did for years. It's stuff like it's just been Anthony Davis and Bam for years saying it's unfair. It's not. I deserve it. It should be me.
I mean, it's not as objective as like a scoring title or anything, but like it does kind of feel like someone being like, "How is Wilt the scoring leader? I'm good too. You know, I score a lot of points. I don't score as many. It's just like, I don't know.
I could score 102 if I took 50 shots.
Yeah, exactly. We should do per possession. That's what's important. So, yeah. Anthony Davis, at this point, you do kind of sound like a crybaby. I'm not gonna lie. The Gobert thing, I get it, but give up the gimmick with Wemby, dude. Come on.
It's not going to work, bro. It works when you add Gobert being switched out on the perimeter and he runs around like a chicken with his head cut off. Yeah. It doesn't work when people are terrified to get within 8 feet of Wemby, and every block is him just grabbing it out of the air and doing the most insane stuff you've ever seen.
Everyone, they spend the entire week leading up to the Spurs game being like, don't fucking shoot when this guy's around. We can find a better shot. Do not shoot it. And he's still averaging 4 blocks a game. It's just like half the court. He's like, you can't shoot over here. You're not going to win that one, narrative-wise.
And by the way, Lakers 21st defense, Spurs 20th defense. So I wonder what is. Let me pull up the.
Well, they have Stephon Castle versus freaking Dalton Connect. You know, compare the rookies.
Yeah, let's see. What is the Lakers' defensive rating when Anthony Davis is on the court? What if he does beat out Wemby? Do you think Anthony Davis knows about on off?
I think he would refuse to. I think if he knew about it, he would have brought it up. You know?
Yeah. Okay, wait.
Oh, the official White House briefing. That blonde lady that they have in there. What's her name? Caroline Leavitt. She said, when you're flying with your loved ones, do you pray that your airplane lands safely and you get to your destination, or do you pray that the pilot has a certain skin color? I think we all know the answer. How does that make you feel?
Oh, wait. So, do I pray that I land safely, or do I pray that the pilot has a certain skin color?
Yes.
I think I do. I pray that the pilot's white. No.
Oh my god!
I'd rather crash with the white pilot than
that's the thing. Well, when I get on the plane and like the door is open, I just am like, don't show me, I don't want to know. Golly, because if it's a black guy, I'm gonna throw up the entire time. I'm gonna be like, no, oh god, I'm not gonna land. So just the mystery, and my faith and prayer is the big stuff.
So
the on-off is what we're looking for here, by the way. I'm waiting.
So
can you hear it if I fart right now?
I don't know.
Did you hear that?
No.
Okay, I didn't fart.
Okay. Yeah. Well, wait, why did you ask that, though?
Don't worry. Why are you fucking butt checking me, dude?
Oh, that is gay. All right, my bad.
Yeah. Can you give me the DEI stats, please?
I'm tweaking out. I somehow.
I'm just
I
buying you time.
I somehow
here.
have forgotten how to find this, but screw Anthony Davis. You know what he's mad about? That he had this whole marketing scheme, the brow coming in. He chose to market the most disgusting thing. I'm gonna be the
okay. That's a bit much. All right.
I'm gonna be the unibrow guy. That'll be cool. Everyone will love that. And you know what? No one.
When he was on the
cares
Pelicans,
anymore.
it was.
Does
'Cause
he?
it was
He
like a
still
bird.
has it, right?
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
He just has not been a player dominant enough to really. No one cares about the nickname.
We don't
When he
even
was like
notice
20,
it.
like MVP, like top 3 players. Oh, the brow. Oh my god! And now it's like AD.
Yeah, we don't need DEI depoys. You don't deserve the award just because you have unibrow. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, when you hand out the Defensive Player of the Year award, are you praying that your team, doesn't allow as many points as possible and, gets a lot of cool blocks and steals, or are you praying that your defensive player just has a certain kind of brow?
Yeah, it's not as thick as it used to be, but like, what's the point, Anthony Davis? I'm zoomed in on your brow right now. Just shave it. No one cares anymore. Like, does he even get marketing opportunities based off being the brow? Or
The last one I remember,
his name is bigger than the brow now.
The last one I remember, he had a Red Bull April Fool's ad where he pretended to shave it off.
Yeah, and he looked better.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. Committing to the unibrow, you're committing to like a very distinct look. James Harden with the beard at least looks cool.
The beard looks cool.
And like without it, he does objectively look worse. And
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. With AD, it's some debate. The Blazers, what are they, blazing pot up there? 3-1 in their last 4. They beat the Magic, they beat the Bucks, they beat the Hornets, they lost to the Thunder. IDF Super Soldier hooping a little bit, poquito. And then Ayton, back-to-back 20-point games, and they held the Magic with Pablo and Franz to like 90 points. I don't remember what that game finished at, but when I went to sleep, they had 90 points. And it was very late in the game. Oh, literally 90 points, 90 to 119. They fucking owned them.
Wow, they scored 11 more than last time. Pwn. Yes, Scoot had good games again. He dropped 25 on OKC.
Whoa,
23 on Orlando.
Because
it's Scoot Henderson. We're excited.
Okay. Hey, this is Orlando shit. Did Suggs play in this game?
Suggs my dick and balls and nuts down your throat. Pwned?
Suck my D dick. E everything else.
Extremities.
I don't know. Fuck off. Suggs my dick and balls and cum and jizz and everything else all over your fucking glasses and in your ears and fucking...
come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Because Q-tips don't work well.
Ugh, fuck.
They
I have to pee again, dude. That's how 2.5... I can't go like... you could do some Blazers stuff.
Oh God, I didn't write down enough about the Blazers, but I mean we did an episode about 2 weeks ago. So the last week there were some concerns. Is Chauncey going back to stunting Scoot Henderson's growth as a player? But no, it doesn't seem. I mean he's getting playing time again. It's kind of funny. I was watching VJ Edgecombe in Play Poland, like I said, and Chauncey was there, and I was like, no, please don't tell me he's scouting VJ. But I realized it was because of Ayton. So, yeah. But VJ Edgecombe, he is the type of player that would be great for the Blazers to have, but again, not necessarily. I don't know if he'd be a savior, so it's weird. But Toumani Camara is one of 4 players named as an injury replacement to the Rising All-Star event, along with Joestar Thompson, Anthony Black, and Ryan Dunn. Scoot Henderson and Bryce McGowens are also slated to participate. How is Bryce McGowens participating? What in the world? All right, I don't know what's going on with the Rising All-Stars game. But Toumani Camara blocked Pablo twice. It was pretty sick. And he's fantastic defensive player. let's see. Is there anything going on with the Blazers? I'm seeing a graph. So over the last 10 games, let's do a little filtering on these fellas, okay? So not all season segments. Let's do the previous.
Have you been talking in this tone the whole time?
I don't know.
You do like an NPR thing when you're by yourself.
So over the last 10, Portland is the 21st offense. So
Wow.
that's
we
not
don't
very
need
good.
to. We don't need to
That's-
do that much
That's
for
Clippers level, but they're the 8th ranked defense.
Tumani Kamara blocked Paolo Banchero.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
It was sick. Yeah, twice.
Yeah. So that's like Tumani, based on merit, and then Paolo is the DEI dunk. Italy. Yeah. That's why Orlando took him. 'Cause they were
Oh
like,
no! On the Blazers subreddit, they're posting side by side stat comparisons of Denny and Paul George.
Well, I mean, there's probably a joke in there about who's the bigger terrorist this year.
Paul George gotta be a centrist.
Oh my God, Paul George. What does Paul George feel that strongly about? I haven't listened to the pod lately.
I haven't either, and it's way down in the ratings. When I checked, it was like 100. I was like,
podcast poop.
This is okay. Don't say that about him.
Why? Is that your friend? Is that your boyfriend?
He was really good in OKC in 2018.
2019, you mean?
18-19.
2018-19. Okay. Let's run through Pelicans. 0-4 in their last 4. Lost to the Mavs, the Raptors, the Hornets, the Grizzlies. Brandon Ingram to Atlanta. There's some smoke there from today.
Oh.
I think that'd be so funny if they pivoted out of the DeJounte Murray deal. And, it's not great. They're not a good team anymore, but, at least they have some future picks, and the future's bright. They're not locked into a bad contract with a weird guy anymore. And now, let's go get Brandon Ingram and pay him. We're Brandon Ingram away. We'll be the Wings team. Brandon Ingram, Zachary Rizichet, Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Hunter.
It's kind of cool.
That's it.
Hawks
It's
need
kinda
wings.
Cool. Hey, what is this? A 6 seed?
They're
Maybe.
the feathers. Our friend Gambo, he reported that the Pelicans
Love
have
him.
no interest in the Pelicans have no interest in trading for Jimmy Butler, but I got an alert that the great Jake Fisher thinks that they do have interest in trading.
Who do you trust more?
That it's a tough one. I don't know.
Who's earned it based on merit, and who's kind of being handed it based on DEI?
Oh crap. Well, I think Gambo might be a trumper. So
he deserves it, is what you're saying.
So we're on Gambo's side. The Pelicans are. It would be crazy for them to trade for Jimmy. I don't know what the strat would be there. Is it just to get off Zion? I don't. Oh yeah, Zion not allowed to play back to backs. You saw his speech, guys. If it was up to me, I'd be playing. But I work for the Pelicans.
If it was up to me, I'd turn my feet to ash playing basketball, baby. I'd jump through the fucking roof for the coolest dunk you've ever seen. Then I'd have to go back to the locker room. But I guess that's not what the Pelicans want,
Yeah. So, but the Pelicans are back. They had a little stretch of being a good team, right? But now they're back to being 0-4 weak. So honestly, it's good that they're sitting him. They really got a tank.
Yeah, go get Dylan Harper. Figure your life out. Go get Ace Bailey. Next Michael Porter Jr. Do something like that.
Let's see. Is there anything else going on? Oh, Herb Jones has been doing cool stuff.
Yeah, I
But
bet
he's
he
always
has.
doing cool stuff.
He is. He always is. 238. The Utah Jazz down at the bottom of the barrel. 0-4 in their last 4. They lost to the Wolves, Warriors, Bucks, Grizzlies. What's the deal with Bryce? How you feeling?
So they played the Minnesota Timberwolves last night, and one of my worst fears came true.
What's up?
Jordan Clarkson is back.
Oh, nice. How'd that look?
I hate him so much. So you know how much I hate DEI? You know how it's the worst thing in the world? There's only one thing worse.
What's worse than DEI?
Jordan Clarkson.
Oh fuck.
Okay. It's just so irrational. I hate because
he low-key is a DEI like shots diet. Like it's not a meritocracy. They're in Utah. They're just Keontae George. Here's 15 shots a game. Knock yourself out. DEI, man.
Bryce is very clearly punished for mistakes on both ends. Like if he his minutes are clearly linked to how well he's playing. Jordan Clarkson is not. Jordan Clarkson is God King, Emperor of the Utah Jazz. He gets to chuck up whatever he wants, running 1 foot side 3-pointers.
That's a good shot. That's a good shot. You wouldn't get it.
He just doesn't pass. And when Bryce is out there, like it makes it so even when he does get minutes, he's just shoved into the corner and like out there doing it. And so when he is just there to be a corner 3-point shooter and then play defense,
he's not that good.
Which he's not good at, that's not that good of a player. So the Utah Jazz really need to free me from my hell. I hate the Utah Jazz. I hate how they overvalue every single asset they have. I hate that they've had so many injuries and they still try and find ways not to play Bryce and the young guys. At least Isaiah Collier's getting minutes now.
Yeah, he is. He's been playing pretty well.
It's just so irrational. And so I was watching Kawhi. I was watching the plays that the Clippers
which is like old Bryce Sensabaugh kind of.
Well, I was watching the plays the Clippers were running for Kawhi to generate these mid-range looks. I'm thinking Bryce would eat these up. So please, for the love of God, somebody trade for Bryce. Get him out of Will Heldy. Get him out of this terrible.
What's Jordan Clarkson's contract like? How much longer is he in this motherfucker?
Who knows? And you know what else? I hope they don't get Cooper, and I hope they don't get Dylan Harper.
Oh, Washington's getting Cooper. So.
And I hope they don't get VJ Edgecombe.
VJ Edge, he's edging. The Edgers. That's what his thing should be called. Holy shit. VJ Edgecombe to the Rockets, the Edgers and the Gooners in one location. Could be the move. I don't know.
Oh, for grown-ups, that wouldn't really matter to us.
Oh, are you a grown-up?
Dominated.
Because you're crying about fucking opportunity with the Utah Jazz. Bryce has to sit in the corner. Maybe he should earn some touches. Maybe he should dominate in practice like I'm sure Jordan Clarkson does. I'm sure he fucking lights him up when the cameras aren't rolling. That's what Danny Ainge sees. That's what you don't see. And so it's like obviously that guy's going to get the opportunities because he deserves them because Utah is a meritocracy. That's not something that your DEI brain would understand.
You know what else sucks? Filipowski.
My dick and balls.
Kyle Filipowski. I remembered last night. This guy was getting groomed. Let me check for an update.
Yeah, no, that is sad. That is sad.
No real update. Just his mom was like, "Yep, he cut us off." And
he hasn't talked to his family in like 3 years.
That was a family friend. And so they really took him, and they're just not going to do anything about it because she's Mormon.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, none of it. Yeah, it's like there's no like Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge is not going to let morals come into this in any capacity.
And he's a bad guy.
Well,
like,
he's probably like morally that's correct. That's what happened to me.
Yeah,
that's good.
Hey, I wish when I was in high school.
Oh man,
27-year-old kid took me to pro.
Lucky guy. If only all of us could have that luck, you know? Oh, man. The babysitter? Oh, sweet. It's like, Jesus Christ. This is like just a colony out in the western United States of fucking psychos. But it's not like 40% just normal people. 40% is probably high, but I don't know.
If I was president, I would take the Utah Jazz from Danny Ainge at gunpoint, and I'd free Kyle.
I don't think you need to hold a gun. Is that just like a personal choice? If you're president, you could just like gunpoint is a bit excessive.
No, it's okay.
Okay. If I was president, New Orleans would get the Jazz name back. And
I'd raise them higher above the levees. So no more
that's cool.
water damage.
If I was president, tariffs on Iceland until they join us.
No, I won't be able to buy my Slurgator.
I'm mostly done with season 2 of Vinland Saga. It's so good.
Life changing.
Yeah, I mean, so when you say to be a true warrior, is that like him carrying all the? I mean, spoiler alert, everybody.
Well, if you know, you know. You would know by now.
Okay, cool. Well, then I don't think I know quite yet. I've only gotten to the spoiler alert. I've only gotten to the point. Arnhide's fucking ex-husband just escaped and shit. Like,
okay, you got more.
Shit's boiling up. We're working towards what I assume will be like an insane final 5 episodes. But I'm watching Severance tonight. That's the next plot. So, yeah, honestly, 2 hours 44 minutes. You guys have been completely spoiled, and I'm
this
happy.
was a bad episode. We derailed every segment.
God
I
damn.
apologize.
Well, maybe fucking keep us on track then. I don't know. It's just the standard that you're holding us to. That we're like supposed to be a serious podcast that doesn't talk about stupid shit for 2.5 hours.
Well, I feel
framed
like
as an NBA pod. I don't know what you want.
I feel like 7 of the 15 teams. It was like.
Well,
so
maybe
how about
tomorrow on
how about the
patreon.com/state of the league, we'll be fucking serious about stuff. I don't know what to say.
All right. Yeah, guys, please subscribe to the Patreon. Get us to 400 so we could do the census and so I could pay off my boot. And
what do you want them to comment if they're still here?
Ooh, hot cocoa.
Comment hot cocoa if
Hot
you're still
cocoa.
here.
I'm
Hot
not gonna
cocoa. Pau Gasol, take it away.
Lay down a list of what is wrong, things you told them all along. Pray to God he hears you, and pray